ये वेलकम गाइज। तो हमारी प्यारी प्यारी पाइमॉन को किसी ने कुछ तो किया है, किसी ने कुछ तो किया है। क्यों किया है, किस लिए किया है, कैसे किया है, कुछ पता नहीं, लेकिन किया है। आज पाइमॉन का केस सॉल्व करेंगे। चलो फटाफट लाइव चल, कनेक्ट नहीं है करे। अच्छा, आज ब्लूटूथ वाले लगा के रखे हैं मैंने। जे अगर ज्यादा आवाज कट होने लगी, जो इसमें एक प्रॉब्लम होता है, वो हेडफोन्स बदलेगा। होप तो कर रहा हूँ ना हो, लेकिन हो ही तो भाई फिर करना पड़ेगा। ये इधर, तू इधर, पॉप आउट, तू इधर। चलो, चैट का बंदोबस्त हो चुका है। अभी आई लेवल चैट का बंदोबस्त कर लेते हैं फटाफट। इस वाले पे कहाँ चला, इस वाले पे किक चलता है ना, इस वाले पे ऊटुक चलता है। नाजरीन साकरीन सारे लग चुके हैं, वीडियो को लाइक करते चले। बोले तेरा चलो, अरे ये बहुत ऊपर जाके बैठ जाता है। क्वेस्ट करते कल के तरफ फिर जाते वक्त में सब खत्म खुदम करके चला जाएगा। पहले इधर नेविगेट करो रे, सारे वे पॉइंट्स करो। इधर से बेटर लगेगा मेरे को, मतलब फिर। ओ भाई साहब, ओ भाई साहब, सूर्यांश रोज के रोज न्यू स्पीड अनलॉक कर रहे तू, लाइव आने की फास्ट मतलब स्पीड। मजा आ जाता है। मेरे को बैनर नहीं मिल रहा रे, लेगेसी स्क्रीन में जा रहा हूँ, मेरे को सिर्फ शैडो मोनार्क दिख रहा है, उसका बैनर ही नहीं दिख रहा मेरे को। और प्लीज मेरे को बोल तूने नहीं, तेरे को से ना, मैं जब भी हम लोग कोऑप में खेलेंगे ना, तभी तेरे से किक पे फॉलो करने लगाएगा मैं। अभी कितना ही मैं गला फाड़ लूं, तू करने से रहा, तेरे से मैं स्पेशली करा के रहेगा। There we go.
Hello there. How can I help? Ah, sure thing. Give me a second. I'll go fetch him for you.
बहुत ज्यादा धूल गिर रहा है आज के इधर। ये मम्मी का काम है भाई साहब। कल मेरे को ऐसा लगा था, हे होली मेरी रूम फाइनली सेटअप है, मम्मी ने जो बक्से निकाले हैं।
It's a familiar story. I've had similar experiences. Although Snezhnagrad doesn't deliberately delay or withhold relief, those first few days of waiting for help are always the hardest. It's a fundamental contradiction. If emergency relief can't be delivered in time, what's the point in even calling it emergency relief? Not necessarily. I think there's a good chance that Kresnik Crystal from Stratomoros will start flowing into the market. When we resolve Stratomoros' energy issue, it's like we open the floodgates. A huge backlog of Crystal is now available to the townspeople. There's no way they can use it up at once. A lot of them will probably stockpile it and slowly work their way through. Probably a good idea, since energy prices are only going to keep rising. But there will always be people who urgently need more. Exactly. At the current prices, selling Crystal is an easy way for an ordinary person to make a fortune. Hey boss, how much do I have left in my account?
1 second. Let me check. So, you're planning on buying the crystal?
Yeah. I don't know if I have enough, so I'll chip in a little extra and buy. No, it's fine. You're new to Snezhnaya, and you have your own living expenses to worry about. Besides, you're already providing the train.
Here's your Mora. See what you can find at the market. But I doubt there'll be much crystal left.
Yeah, well, can't hurt to
आज
take a
स्टोरी
look.
तो खत्म होने दे भाई. एक्ट 1 खत्म नहीं किया
Let's
हमने.
see. Huh?
एक्ट 2 एक्ट आए हैं, पहले ही खत्म नहीं हो रहा अपना.
Oh, Alosha, and... Hello.
I didn't realize you two knew each other. Yeah, I take on some odd jobs in the city to supplement my hunting income. Sometimes I work as a cleaner or prop hand at the theater where Odette is one of the big stars, so I've met her a few times. When the weather's as bad as this,
Oh,
it's better for a hunter to adapt than to keep looking for game.
okay.
Yes, and we sometimes need extra help.
Wait, why is the atmosphere so awkward? I thought things went pretty smooth.
गेम पगलू है रे, गेम पगलू.
So, what brings you here, Miss Odette?
अगर गेम की स्टोरी अच्छी है तो मैं पगलू है.
No. After I got back to the theater, I couldn't stop thinking about the situation in Sviatlo-Lidovka. It bothered me so much, I couldn't focus on my dancing. So I decided I'd come here and see if there's anything I can do.
अरे भाई नाम सब पे रखो रे तुम लोग. मेरे को स्नेज़्हनाया सर वो भी मैं ठीक से नहीं प्रोनाउंस कर पा रहा.
You too, I presume. I suppose that's why you're here. I didn't feel comfortable expressing my true opinions in front of the Harbingers. Not least because ordinary Fatui like me don't even know what Project Snezhnayan is all about. Without knowing the full picture, I can't make sense of it. And at some point, if things aren't making sense to me, I can't just keep going along with it.
So many people feel
भाई
the same
वेडनेसडे को
way.
अपना कांड हुआ रे.
They wish they could do something, but
वेडनेसडे का अगर वाईफाई इशू नहीं होता ना.
Explains why groups like the Road Cod are springing up to fill the gap.
Yes. Well, that's one option. But there are risks to consider with organizations like that. The Fatui does not encourage their activities.
Right, because things can get out of hand, and it's hard to hold the right people accountable when they do. I've heard about a few cases like that.
भाई वेडनेसडे का इंसिडेंट हुआ रे. वेडनेसडे का अगर वाईफाई इशू नहीं होता ना, अभी हम लोग बहुत आगे रहते. चाहे क्या था साला, वो वाईफाई ने मेरे को धोखा दे दिया.
Sandrone said Odette was on track to inherit the title of the Fair Lady. If so, she'll be... Still, it's probably a little soon to ask her.
What's on your mind? I think we can both agree that no matter which side you're on, it can't stop you from doing the right thing. Where there's a will, there... I know what Rosaline did while she was abroad. You made the right decision, so no hard feelings. So, what's your plan?
Oh, we were gonna buy some crystal. I heard there's some on the market right now.
Funny, I had the same idea. In that case, let me pay. I can claim it back as mission expenses. The real issue here is that government relief is behind schedule. Surely it makes more sense for the state to cover these costs than for us to pay out of our own pockets.
नो प्रॉब्लम भाई, मैं सॉर्टेड बंदा है. हाँ, मेरे को ऐसा नहीं होता है तेरे को पसंद नहीं आ रहा तो तेरे पे ये तेरे पे ऐसा. नहीं पसंद आ रहा, नहीं पसंद आ, खत्म. मेरे को रीजन भी नहीं जानना. मेरे साथ भी बहुत होता है यार. मेरे को भी सर्टन चीजें पसंद नहीं आती. मैं ज्यादा एक्सप्लेन करने जाता हूँ कि नहीं होता भाई मेरे से. मेरे को मेरे घर वाले कितने बोलते हैं केरला स्टोरी वगैरह मूवीज है ना, वो देख कितनी अच्छी मूवी है, तेरे को पता चलेगा. मैं सीधा ना करता. मैं सीधा बोलता, मेरे को जमता ही नहीं है वो जिसमें वो ऐसा सीन्स वगैरह हो थोड़े, या बहुत ही ज्यादा पॉलिटिकल या रिलीजियस चला जाए विदाउट एनी ना. नहीं जमता, मैं नहीं देखता, मैं छोड़ देता हूँ. मैं वैसा टाइप का. नहीं पसंद छोड़ दो, आगे बढ़ो.
True. It's a huge expense after all.
लेकिन ब्लेजो भाई तो खेलता है ना सोलो लेवलिंग. ये क्या है? गाचा गन पसंद नहीं आते लेकिन सोलो लेवलिंग में फुल्ली इन्वेस्टेड है भाई। वाओ, मेरे को सब नहीं अच्छे
Let's
लगते।
see. I'll take it all, please. And I'll be needing a receipt. Right. Choose mission budget under the expense category, but be sure to specify emergency rescue operation in the description. Otherwise, the normal reimbursement limit will apply.
हाँ,
Let's
स्कैम कर
get
रही है।
this train. Regulations say that if we need to transport Kresnik Crystal during Project Stuja, extra carriages can be added 1 hour before departure.
मेरे को ये इनका ये मुनगिल जो आया था वो ये अजीब बात नहीं, स्टोरी दूर की बात है, मेरे को कैरेक्टर डिजाइन उनका मूवमेंट तरीका वही पसंद नहीं
That
आया।
should do it. The train will be escorted to its destination by Fatui guards.
This is my first time seeing you handle Fatui affairs, Miss Odette. It seems...
You flatter me. It's only because I've been doing both my whole life.
गुड क्वेश्चन, वेरी गुड क्वेश्चन। इस क्वेश्चन का जवाब मेरे को भी ढूंढना है। अरे मेरा प्लान वही था इसको आज फ्राइडे तक खत्म करना, फिर सैटरडे संडे 2 दिन हॉगवर्ट्स घुसा के फिर अगले हफ्ते का फिर ये किंग्स रोड का कर लेते थे हम लोग, लेकिन साले खत्म ही नहीं हो रहा।
Anyway, I bet you've been non-stop today, am I right? Any idea how Paimon's...
What's wrong? Who's Paimon?
His travel buddy. Hasn't been feeling well. She caught a cold right after they got to Snezhnaya.
Sounds like she's important to you.
मेरे अभी होप्स
You've
अप
been
है,
dealing with this on top of everything you've been doing to help
मेरे
the
अभी
people of
होप्स
Snezhnaya.
अप है क्योंकि सोलो लेवलिंग ने बहुत ढील दे दी है मेरे को। सोलो लेवलिंग से ढील मिल चुकी है क्योंकि स्टोरी तो अपना हो लिया है। किंग्स रोड ने भी अच्छी खासी ढील दे दी है। अभी होएगा तो और सितंबर में तो होगा फॉर श्योर। अगस्त का मैं गारंटी नहीं ले सकता
I've got nothing going on right now.
क्योंकि साले
so I'll
सबका
join you.
अपडेट्स है।
I want to see how she's doing.
May I come too? I have some candy that someone gave me back in Svietlo-Laidovka. Plus, I know a little bit about...
All right then, let's go.
मेरे को कभी भाई
I still don't know what the deal is between these two, but at least the tension seems to have vanished. A good sign, hopefully.
तुम लोग बिलीव नहीं करोगे, जब चैनल स्टार्ट करने का था ना मेरे को क्वेश्चन पड़ा था भाई मैं गेम क्या खेलेगा और कितने ही खेल लूंगा, मतलब मेरे को गेम कम पड़ेंगे ये मेरा टेंशन था। अभी है वही खेले नहीं जा रहे। अरे बाजू में ही है, कितना दूर है चुम्मा, इधर भी चलो। हाँ देखा मैंने टीम सेटअप करके रखी है क्योंकि आज बाहर था आया। मैंने अभी रूल बनाया कि एक दिन मेरे मेन अकाउंट से खेलेगा, एक दिन दूसरे अकाउंट से खेलेगा। तो आज मेन अकाउंट में लॉगिन करके प्रीसेट वगैरह सब बना के रख दिया, लेकिन फिर अगेन हमारा घर ही सेट नहीं हो रहा भाई, उसके वजह से थोड़ा रह गया, वरना मैं करने वाला था, एक ही रन तो मारने वाला था टीयर 7 पे। इस बार सुना कि इजी है, मतलब और टावरों का जो भी सब लोग आए हैं ऐसे लाइन इनसे इजी है करके। हंटर मोड का तो मेरे को टेंशन नहीं है, जिनवू मोड का ही।
Hello. Sorry, but there's a sick person recovering.
What happened?
Oh, please, excuse me. Are you the traveler? Could I take a quick look at your adventurer handbook? Master Child said I should verify your identity.
वो तो है, एसएल से इजी है, डायवोस थोड़ा कूदता है इधर उधर, लेकिन वो तो 100 मुड़ में मारना है, तो मेरे को लुई जिगान पे पूरा भरोसा है। हाँ, मेरा मेरा लुई जिगान पकड़ पकड़ के मारेगा। इसमें फिर थोड़ा वापस योगमंड वाले में भी वो बहुत ऊपर नीचे करता है, उधर एक थोड़ा ही होएगा।
Ah, it's really you. Sorry for the inconvenience. We're under strict orders from Master Child to keep this room well guarded. At the same time, we can't interfere with Podvoye Restaurant's business. That would only seem all the more suspicious. Besides myself, a few of my colleagues are stationed in and around the restaurant, in plain clothes, of course.
I didn't expect such a high standard of protection.
अरे फिर
Well, Master Child handpicked us for this special assignment. We're not about to let anything go wrong. Anyway, I won't keep you any longer. Please, head inside.
ये देखा रही मैंने, अभी मैंने न्यूज देखना चालू किया है थोड़ा थोड़ा, अभी मेरे को पता चल गया है कैसा देखना है, इसलिए तो बोला ना। डेवॉस हो लेगा, डोमिनोज अपना, डोमिनोज भाई अपना, डोमिनोज भाई हो लेगा, तो डावरोक का देखना पड़ेगा, डावरोक। और हाँ, एसेंशियल का इशू हो रहा है, अरे बहुत इशू हो रहा है। उन लोगों ने डाला तो है कि मिलेगा, लेकिन किसी को ही नहीं मिल रहा।
Hi, I'm Odette. The Traveler and I crossed paths a few times.
Another friend from the Fatui, huh? You're practically a member yourself by this point. Paimon's definitely on the mend. We should be back to our usual travels in a few days' time. Seems like that doctor was right. It's just... Paimon's limbs are still feeling a little chilly.
I have just the thing.
ब्लेजो भाई मारा कि नहीं? तुम लोगों ने तो खेला ही होगा अब तक।
Whoa! What's this? Is that a flame inside?
All keen observations. You're right. This is called core ignis. Whenever I've caught a cold in the past, I found I recover much more quickly if I place this by my bed. You're welcome to borrow it.
Awesome! Wow! It's so nice and warm! Oh, it's like magic. Your name was Odette, right? How did you...
Looks like she's in pretty good spirits. That's a relief. Any progress with your investigation yet?
देखा उसका ही गाइड वीडियो देख रहा था, स्क्रीनशॉट निकाल के रखा सब, मैंने टीम सेटअप वगैरह किया। भेंडी यार, उसका वीडियो देखा हमने, वो बोला कि डेथ पेन का मेटा गया, अभी डैमेज इंक्रीज का मेटा है, हमने कोर बिल सब बदल दिए। आज उसका देख रहा था, बोल रहा है कि जिनवू को 41% डेथ पेन दो। तेरी ऐसी की तैसी रही।
No surprises there, I'm sure. They're not likely to let anything slip. The Rokad, huh? Let me think. Members of the Rokad keep their true identities hidden, but I think there might be someone I can introduce you to. Leave it with me. Meet me at the Korolyevsky troop tomorrow, and I'll tell you how it goes.
Would anyone like a drink? I'm gonna head to the bar.
Paimon will have... maybe some hot milk? Yeah. Paimon's in the mood for something warm.
चलेगा दीदी?
Enough with the secret chat, you two. Let's catch up properly in a minute. Paimon wants to know everything that's happened today. It'll be kind of like tabletop troop. No reason why listening to a story can't be an adventure.
अच्छा, रेस्ट करना है, चलो टाइम स्किप। इधर ही आना है। ओह ओके, तो चलो बाहर टेलीपोर्ट मारो, इधर से ही मारते। बाहर मेरे को अल्फा भाई की याद आ रही है अपना वो ये सोलो लेवलिंग वाला अल्फा जो तेरे को उसने टारगेट किया था उसकी बातें सच होती हुई दिख रही है। डेव जानबूझ के एसेंशियल्स नहीं दे रहे। हाँ मेरे को क्या लगता है पता है क्या, स्टार्टिंग में बोला था गेंशिन इम्पैक्ट में कोई तो है जो छुप छुप के सोलो लेवलिंग के वीडियोस देख रहा है कि अच्छा ये लोग कैरेक्टर को बफ करते हैं, चलो हम लोग भी करते हैं, थोड़ा राउंड अबाउट वे में करेंगे लेकिन करते हैं। मेरा को लग रहा है सोलो लेवलिंग वालों के ऑफिस में भी कोई तो बैठा है जो छुप छुप के गेंशिन के वीडियोस देख रहा है। अच्छा ये लोग देते ही नहीं है, चलेगा हम भी नहीं देंगे। दोनों एक दूसरे को कॉपी करने पर तुले हुए हैं नेक्स्ट लेवल पे।
Ah, you made it. I've got some tickets, and I managed to set something up with It'll have to wait until after the show, though. Happy to stay and watch? I doubt you've seen the Korolyevsky troupe on stage before. Pleasure. Here. This is the way in.
Please present yourself for a routine inspection in accordance with theater regulations. Thank you.
कौन है रे ये? नहीं हाँ
Is that guy?
Okay, all done. Thank you for your cooperation. Please proceed through to the theater.
What's up? Everything okay? Snezhnaya's business and political leaders are always passing through here, so it makes sense that security's tight. Still, it's a little unusual to see the Fatui's Armory Palace guard here. You saw him, right? The guy right at the back. Strong, silent type. His name's Valeri.
अच्छा तो 3 डेथ पेन के, 3 डैमेज इंक्रीज के, 3 एमपी रिडक्शन के, एंड डिपेंडिंग अपॉन द मेटा, डिपेंडिंग अपॉन द एनिमी हम लोग चेंज करेंगे। खा लिया रे खा लिया। मेरा कभी ग्राइंड खत्म होएगा।
He's part of the Special Assignments Battalion, but I only ever see him here for one thing: to look for a guy named Mitya.
वो छोड़, लुईजी ही के क्या है, अटैक है उसका मेन, क्या है मेन उसका, उसके लिए भी तो अभी निकालने पड़ेंगे सर्टर फिल्म। नहीं सर्टर फिल्म सॉरी, काम ना सर्टर ही है।
Seems to put much time in at the office. The theater is one of his favorite places to hang out when he's playing hooky from work. But that's not for us to worry about. Let's go. The show's about to start.
अटैक है भाई 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 भाई, क्या नसीब रे। आर्टिफैक्ट चुरा चुरा के लगाओ, बस खत्म बात। इसके उसको, इसके उसको।
Pretty impressive, huh?
ओके, कट सीन कमिंग इन। मेरे को अभी अंदर से फील आ रहा है कुछ तो बड़ा होएगा। My Genshin senses.
Oh, the one in Fontaine? I hear it's iconic. Never seen it for myself, though. Here we are, just in time. Sorry, coming through.
If you're gonna show up late, keep your mouth shut.
What's his problem? Whatever. No point arguing with people like that.
Look, there she is. That's who I'm introducing you to later. She's the lead singer of the troupe, Vodyanitsa.
इनके नाम कैसे लेगा रे मैं, जब इन पे पुल मारेगा मैं। लीक्स के माने तो ये अगले पैच में आ रही है। लीक्स मैंने देखे नहीं है लेकिन ये ऑलमोस्ट कंफर्म है। वो तो वो जब मारे इनके नाम कैसे लेगा रे मैं। सीन है क्या है। भाई मस्त रे। तूने तो बहुत नेक्स्ट लेवल पे ग्राइंड किया है, लेकिन क्रिएटर ज्यादा नहीं हो जाएगा 3? फुकट में ओपरा सुना रहे मैं तुम लोगों को। हाँ? नहीं नहीं सॉरी, नहीं 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 नहीं, ऐसी हरकत नहीं करनी है। ओ भेंडी हो लिया।
This leads directly to the green room. They're expecting us. Vodyanitsa will be waiting for us there.
ये किसी ने लाइव देखा है क्या रे? लाइव ओपरा भाई गले की क्या वो बांधे होते रहेंगे ना?
Excuse me.
Can you believe it? I am so mad right now. Come in.
Oh, it's you two.
अच्छा। तो सच बोलना, मेरे को लगा तूने स्पेशली फार्म किया है।
Huh? You know each other? Oh wait. Is this who you were telling me about? The one you met yesterday and couldn't stop thinking about?
I never said that.
Yes, you did. Why are you denying it? It was right before I went on that rant about the moody factory owner. Oh, I remember it so clearly.
Might I ask what brings you two here?
Oh, I just brought him here to see the show. And when it finished, he was full of praise for Vodyanitsa's performance. So I thought I'd try my luck, see if we could get the chance to chat for a bit. Maybe get an autograph?
You work here. You of all people ought to know that's against the rules. It's not what the green room is there for.
Oh, what's the big deal? Come on, don't be shy. I can give you an autograph. You can take a picture too if you want.
Do as you please.
ज़्यादा ही पॉजिटिव
I
एटीट्यूड
shall
वाली है।
shows for the day. I'll leave you to chat.
I like the positivity India. क्या बोलते हैं
I
शब्द?
wasn't making that stuff up, you know. Odette's just too proud to admit it. She thinks very highly of you. And so do I. You did the right thing in Svetloladovka.
We're good.
ए
It's out of
देवान
earshot.
की
I'll lock the door.
फिर नाम छोटे रखो रे। एक तो रशियन नाम रखे, उसमें से इतने लंबे लंबे रखे।
Confidentiality, of course. The Rokat is very strict on that.
Whoa, Alosha, not out loud. Not with an outsider here.
I am.
Relax, I've taken care of it. Look at this.
The president's reply sent this morning. Wait, so he's been approved to join?
You told me last night that you
Acha,
wanted to get
Tata.
intel from the Rokat. Unfortunately, Rokat intel is only available to members. But ever since you set foot in Snezhnaya, we've been working together. Everything about you is perfectly in alignment with what we're trying to achieve in the Rokat.
अच्छा रेबल ग्रुप है इनका।
I might as well cut to the chase.
अरे
I wrote a letter to the president explaining your situation, including just the right amount of detail. His approval came very quickly.
अच्छा ये मेरा भाई रेबल ग्रुप का है रे। मेरे को सभ्य देव मानुस लगा ये तो।
Of course, it's still your decision whether you want to join or not. We'll respect your choice.
Well, assuming Odette was telling the truth and she didn't misjudge you, I guess we don't need to worry about you blowing our cover. Still, you gave me a real fright. I didn't know that's why you came looking for me. So, that stuff you said about admiring my performance was... Now you're talking. That's what I like to hear.
ये मेरे को छोटी बच्ची की वाइब्स क्यों दे रही है? नो पन इंटेंडेड एट टाइगर श्रॉफ, लेकिन ये छोटी बच्ची की वाइब्स दे रही है।
Anyway, let me give you a quick rundown of how things work. Like I said, the Rokat is a covert organization, and we hide our identities. Members typically don't meet in person or even know each other's identities. This helps us maintain a high level of independence and secrecy.
Okay.
Because of this, members are basically free to decide their methods without constraints, so long as the outcome of any activity doesn't violate the organization's principles.
After all, we don't have any ostensible contact with each other. This way, if anything goes wrong, no one else will be implicated.
Beyond the freedom to choose how you operate, it's also your choice whether to act at all. We have plenty of members who have yet to take any action.
वो देखना पड़ेगा अभी कुछ ना कुछ तो उसके numbers देखने पड़ेंगे.
In short, joining the Rokot in and of itself won't place any restrictions on your activity in Snezhnaya. There's a code of conduct you can read if it interests you. But basically, as long as you don't plan on using your anonymity to go around doing evil, you'll be fine.
I tried reading it 5 or 6 times. Never made it all the way through. Even the most lackluster script makes for more interesting reading.
Okay.
Great. Then I'll go grab an official application form. Be right back.
है utmost secrecy, ये secrecy, वो secrecy. एनरोलमेंट फॉर्म रखा है इन लोगों ने और सीक्रेसी की बातें चालू है. वाह अरे मेरी सीक्रेट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन.
Well, Alosha has this pet dog, you see. His name's Tagarin, and this one time, Alosha brought him backstage. Tagarin took quite a liking to me, so I played with him for a little bit. Then, the Rokot was out on a mission one day, and even though we were all in disguise, Tagarin recognized me right away.
Just a coincidence, really. We didn't report it to the higher-ups, though, to avoid dealing with the fallout. Like... my job at the theater. By the way, what were you complaining about just before we came in? Did everything go okay with Chuganov?
Wow, wow. अभी विचित्र विचित्र नाम भी आ रहे हैं. Chuganov.
Everything did not go okay. That's why I was so mad. I tried to make some small talk with him before I went on stage to fish for intel about the Iskra manufacturing plant. But he wouldn't take the bait. No matter what I said, he kept dodging the question.
Gosh. 160.
And then he
मेरे को
started
खेलना पड़ेगा ठीक से
complaining.
खेलना पड़ेगा.
He said he didn't appreciate his second-rate seat in the stalls because he usually gets a private box.
हाँ तो
I mean, what did he expect? Everyone knows that if you want a box seat, you buy a ticket well in advance. But instead, he sends me a letter the day before the show when we're practically sold out.
160.
I had to juggle things around just to get him a half-decent seat, hoping he would appreciate the gesture enough to share some information. But nope, he didn't give me anything.
Yeah, meeting Chuganov in person has definitely been a disappointing experience. Oh, you probably don't know who we're talking about, do you? Chuganov was that older guy you were sitting next to today. I'm sure he didn't make a great first...
To the citizenry, he's a family man and a kind boss. But our interactions with him tell a very different story. It's one thing to ask for a favor, but he acts like it's his right. He always expects special treatment.
मत दो.
Take the ticket situation, for instance. I've actually gotten him a private box in the past. But not only was he not even grateful, now he's acting like I've sold him short this time. Not to mention that he's never paid for a single one of his tickets. And another thing, if he's such a big family man, why doesn't he bring his wife and daughter to see the show once in a while?
Calm down, Vodyanitsa. If you won't do it the easy way, we'll have to try the hard way. But first things first. Here's your application form. Go ahead and fill it out.
मेरे को तो जैनेटर बाहर आयशा ઉમન છે. The 12th, हाँ, the 12th. Hey, ये मस्त है. ये मस्त है. Mom told me to give it a try. ये मस्त है.
Looks like I'll need to make a few little tweaks here and there. But
Hello.
you're good to go. We'll hold on to this for you.
भाई हमने जो भी है इनका गैंग का नाम ज्वाइन कर लिया है क्योंकि हमारे इन गेम मम्मी ने हमें बोला ट्राई करने के लिए.
All right. Now that we're officially Rokot comrades,
Rokot,
I can
okay.
tell you, Chukhanov is the target of our current operation.
Choose भाई.
Recently, we've done some recon work at the Iskra manufacturing plant, which pretty much confirmed that their energy consumption is way beyond the legal limit.
ठीक है.
All we need now is some direct evidence to present to the Vetcha, so we can demand that they shut the plant down.
That way, the Kresnik Crystal can be allocated to where it's needed most.
देख लिया
I was
जाएगा.
hoping he might let slip during one of our chats, but he's too tight-lipped. We'll have to find another way. I'm meeting another regular theater goer tonight, Mitya.
अरे ये क्या नाम हुआ?
But Valeri's here too, and he's probably looking for Mitya, so he may end up being a no-show.
Don't you worry. He must know how to dodge Valeri, or he wouldn't be showing up on time for every performance.
वाह रे मेरा भाई क्या कॉन्ट्राडिक्टरी स्टेटमेंट डाला है. फुल कॉन्फिडेंस से आया लास्ट में शायद. स्टोरी कितने बार आने वाला है और स्टोरी पैच कितने आने वाले उस पे? अरे नहीं रुक. हम लोग अमेरिका से वापस आ लिए हैं. एडान का सॉरी साइड स्टोरी हो चुका है. नेक्स्ट लीगल तो मोनार्क को मारना है. वो तीनों मोनार्क को घोड़े नीचे लेना है. उसके बाद बिलियन की तो स्टोरी है.
Mitya is a renowned energy expert. Although we can't get any direct evidence of the excessive energy consumption at the plant, the authorities should take someone like him seriously. So if he starts raising questions about it, also, we're not allowed on site, but he has clearance. So all we need is his cooperation. Yeah, so that's the other thing we're trying to figure out. Though I think we're far still. I hear that Mitya is a bit of a chatterbox. So, who knows?
What do you think? Sound like something worth your time?
Okay, in that case, you guys find a seat somewhere nearby. Pretend you're a couple of buddies there to eat. And he's a huge fan, so I doubt he'll have his guard up around me. But you two need to be convincing. If he's...
Sure. Don't worry. We'll make a believable pair of buddies.
Perfect! You've sold me already.
Okay.
Everything.
जैनेटर बना दिया रे इसकी तो इसी इसने. ये खत्म हो ली रे दादा. एक्ट 1 कितना लंबा चलाओगे? एक्ट 2 तो मेरे को लग रहा है 3-4 दिन लगेंगे फिर मेरे को. और ऐसा भी नहीं है कि मैं प्रोग्रेस स्लो है जो मैसेज ज्यादा पढ़ रहे. प्रोग्रेस भी अच्छी खासी फास्ट ही रखी है. मिडिल में एक हिडन तेरी रे इनकी हिडन स्टोरी भी लाएंगे लोग.
We come here often, so we shouldn't stand out. Now it's up to Vodyanitsa. Let's see how.
ये प्लेबल कैरेक्टर क्यों लग रहा है मेरे को होएगा एक टाइम के बाद.
Mr. Mitya, over...
Oh, sorry. I got a little held up on my way here. Now we have even less time than we planned. Go ahead and order some snacks and drinks. Whatever you like. Let me see.
You're really pressed for time today, huh? I was imagining this would be a leisurely chat.
No need. Getting to meet the lead singer is a very precious opportunity. I've already had to decline your invitation several times because our schedules rarely align. If I don't grab this chance while it's here, who knows when the next one will come around?
ये definitely playable होने वाला है.
Well, it's very kind of you to make time just for me.
I'm not too sure, to be honest. But Snezhnaya is full of weird and wonderful things like that, so people tend not to bat an eye. I'm sure the same will go for the Eye of Grey.
The reason I invited you out for tea and a chat today was to get some feedback from a true fan of the theater.
Well, I genuinely have nothing bad to say. No matter how many times I hear you sing, it never gets old. It always seems fresh and new somehow. Maybe it's
Okay,
because
so
the
she
more
is
times I
definitely
listen,
nice
the
singer.
more details I notice. Or maybe you simply improve with every performance, delivering it better each time.
Oh, भाई next level पे flattery कर रहा है तो.
Thank you. I'm delighted to hear that. Could you give me any specific examples?
Oh, yeah. That, the piece you sang today, for example. Beneath the Frozen River?
Hint पड़ रहा है. Hint पड़ रहा है.
Hey, what's with you? I'm just praising a good performance. I always used to find that such a bleak and lonely song. But the more you listen, the more you realize that it's not as cold and nihilistic as it appears. When you really dig down into it, there's...
Wow, I'm impressed. I didn't expect you to pick up on that. Actually, I only tried out that angle after talking with a composer. Still,
Next patch में ये आ रही है ना.
River wasn't on today's program.
Next patch में तो ये आ रही है. वाड़ा दीदी.
Oh, really? But it's a classic. You sing it every time.
Almost every time.
Oh. Well then, let me say a few words about that other all-time classic, Flying in the Wind from the Mountain Sparrow.
वापस कुछ तो गड़बड़ किया है.
I didn't sing that one today either. My voice wasn't quite up to it, so...
Oh.
Sorry, Mr. Mitya, but you were at the theater today, yes?
नहीं.
Of course I was.
Uh-huh.
Remember? I said hello to all the troop members before the show started.
So, what did Odette sing today?
Elegy of the Snow-Winged Goose, of course.
Correct. I see. You find my singing boring, don't you? That's why you don't remember a single song. Looks like I'll need to cut a few from the program next time.
No, that's not it. I swear. All right. I'll be straight with you. I'm sorry. My mind was wandering as you took the stage today.
जियो? नहीं रे. नहीं इनका अलग दिखता है ना. विजन इनका अलग दिखता है.
I enjoy watching your shows because the exquisite
No, no.
performances stimulate the mind. It always sparks some inspiration for my research. So, whenever I get stuck at work, I come to the theater for a change of pace. Odette's dance during the elegy of the Snow-Winged Goose today was simply incredible. It got me wondering what she's been going through recently. That look of sheer defiance in the face of utter tragedy? It was so inspiring. I started scribbling in my notebook right away. Not that I
Okay.
made a ton of progress in the grand scheme of things, but I still think it was productive. By the time I snapped out of it, the entire show had finished.
ची गलत बात.
So what you're saying is, you didn't listen to my singing at all?
Unfortunately not. I'm sorry. I don't know which is more disrespectful. The fact that I don't always come for the show itself,
बच्चा नहीं है रे.
or the fact that I missed your performance.
बच्चे नहीं है, दोनों अडल्ट है. दोनों अडल्ट छे. एक ऑफिसर छे, एक दूसरी प्रॉपर सिंगर छे.
Seems like things are getting a little awkward.
Mitya just stepped into a conversational minefield. If there's one thing Vodyanitsa doesn't like, it's people who show disrespect for her performance.
अरे किसको पसंद आएगा?
This meeting was so hard to set up. Don't...
It's fine. I suppose this is affirming in its own way. Don't let it bother you. It certainly doesn't bother me.
गुस्सा आ रहा है, गुस्सा आ
She's showing a lot of restraint.
Well, I'll be sure to let Odette know
अच्छा,
how much
वो.
you adored her performance.
हाँ.
Please don't say that. I always love your performances too. It's just that inspiration struck at the wrong time.
I know, I can tell. That's why I value your opinion.
अच्छा background वाले.
I'm sure some people can't stand it when others praise their coworkers right to their face, but not me. No, sir.
या तो ये होशियार है और हिंट पकड़ लेगा, या तो ये फुद्दू है और अपने लिए खदक खुद ये जमाए जीप चल ले.
Fair enough. I still feel kind of bad, though.
But you know what I really can't stand? People who only show up to the theater to pretend that they're cultured. Makes me sick to my stomach.
Okay, conversation को बराबर डायरेक्शन में ढकलते हुए.
Oh, yeah, 100%. There are too many of those people around. By the time they're walking out the door, they've forgotten all about the show. What's wrong? You look furious.
मेरे भाई, तूने आज वही काम किया है जो तूने अभी कोड किया.
I don't know if you've heard about the boss of the Iskra manufacturing plant. He isn't even a theater investor. Box tickets only, premium drinks, even the right to request specific songs.
Well played, Vodyanitsa. Seems like she's harnessing her rage to steer the conversation back on track.
Shabash.
Now that you mention it, I've interacted with that guy before. I gotta say, everyone holds him up as an example of a benevolent businessman, but I don't know. I don't see it.
ब्लेजर भाई पर्सनल होते हुए.
Yeah, he couldn't care less about what's happening on stage. He's just there to flaunt his social status. I hate that I have to prepare programs for guys like that.
Okay.
What's the big deal with that factory he runs anyway? I asked around a bit and heard some pretty shocking stories. Sounds like he's just another greedy capitalist.
Yes. What did he? Yes. बराबर रील कर इसको.
Oh, really?
Yep. The things people are saying are pretty damning. Low wages, insanely long working hours, equipment running around the clock. And as if that's not bad enough, he also strictly forbids his employees from giving any kind of interview.
फंस लिया.
Project Stuja has now been extended so many times, we're at the point where crystal rations for the common folk are barely enough to survive on. Yet he even wants to get his greedy hands on them, just to boost his own profits.
भाई फंस लिया अपना.
If the rumors are true, he's in serious violation of the law.
Interesting. So you've heard about it too.
What? So it's really true?
Who knows? I've only heard the same rumors you have. But there's no smoke without fire. The Rooster's been coming down on us hard lately, demanding that we track and trace every single batch of Crystal. My coworkers in the Department of Energy have been tearing their hair out over it.
The Rooster? I didn't realize he cared that much.
इनका मेरे को समझ में नहीं आता रे. ये फटरी हर्बिंजर एक साइड चुन लो.
Yeah. Even though there are no restrictions on Crystal trading, the poor will wind up freezing to death if we let the rich buy as much as they want. That's clear. Looks like we'll need to arrange an investigation into the Iskra manufacturing plant as soon as possible.
Hey. Must.
I never knew you kept up with current affairs beyond the theater, Miss Vodyanitsa. You really have a heart for the common person. Most Fae in your position have long been indifferent to the plight of humans.
Well, those of us who choose to live in human cities are naturally going to pay attention to any significant upheaval. Isn't the Rooster a Fae himself?
बौना अपना फे है. बुढ़ाऊ बौना.
I'm just surprised to learn that even someone with as much experience as him is getting so stressed out over Project Stuja. What is the end goal of this?
This is it.
I'm sure Mitya can sense on some level that she's fishing for information. But since their conversation is so relaxed, he might just let something slip.
अभी हम डिसाइड करेंगे ये कितना होशियार है, कितना बुद्धू है. चल मेरे भाई.
It's stressing me out too. If I'd only made better progress with my research, things wouldn't have dragged on this long.
Oh, so your work is related to Project Stuja?
That's right. The Armory Palace needs a brand new energy source. Not the power of the Light Realm and not elemental energy.
Light Realm? अभी पता था, ले लाइन्स पता था, एक लाइट ये कब इंट्रोड्यूस किया है इन लोगों ने?
Right now, the only thing that meets the requirements is the power contained within stellar linchpins. But harnessing that power is costly. Each step of the process requires enormous amounts of Kresnik crystal, from extraction to quantification to attempts at conversion.
Okay.
progress has been painfully slow, and the team is getting burned out as time goes by. Sometimes, I see people staring into space, as if in a trance.
Could it be that this new energy source has side effects?
No, it doesn't affect us, because the energy is used for... Okay, I got it. Stop choking me. Sorry, I can't talk about that. I think we're all just exhausted. We've been working ourselves to the bone for so long, with so little progress to show for it. It's no wonder people are struggling to stay motivated.
अच्छा क्या ठीक है समझा बंदा येड़ा है कंक्लूजन बंदे का स्कार्फ हुशार है
Seems like I owe you an apology. I shouldn't have gotten so mad at you for not paying attention during the show.
Don't worry about it. I count myself lucky, to be honest. I don't envy the people who work closely with the Tsaritsa herself. I'd much rather be in my current position. At least I don't have to shoulder any major responsibilities.
So they're trying to develop a completely new kind of energy. Yeah, censored by a scarf. Who would have thought?
Oh, dear. It looks like my time is up. I'm so sorry. We ended up barely talking about the theater.
That's okay. It was a pleasure chatting with you, really.
Let's make up for it next time. Yeah, hopefully once the work pressure eases up a little, I'll be able to focus more on the performance, and then we'll have more to discuss. We touched on some confidential issues today. I'd be grateful if you could keep it between us.
That could have gone worse.
Nice job. Why was Mitya in such a hurry?
But do we?
Sorry, routine inspection. Okay, let's go.
So he wasn't rushing to get back to work. He must have calculated that Valeri would find him here in exactly 25 minutes. That's frighteningly accurate.
Yeah, bhai sahab. Max Wizard.
One of the main duties of the Special Assignments Battalion is to ensure that important figures stick to their schedules.
All right, time for us to get going too.
We'll settle our check too then.
Oh, hello there. Mr. Mitya paid the check before leaving. He also asked me to pass on a message. He said it was an honor to share his tea break with Miss Tsaritsa and her two friends.
Oh, bhai.
Wait. So he knew we were here all along? This raises a lot of questions. Did he deliberately mention the new energy source so that we'd overhear it?
Bhai, ye to next level होशियार निकला रे.
Maybe his work isn't confidential after all. Maybe the key here is the purpose of this new energy. I guess that's the next thing to look into. Vodyanitsa and Alosha have left.
You're back! Paimon was just gonna mention that. After she woke up today, Paimon felt like her temperature... Still, there's some good news. It's like there's some kind of mysterious power affecting Paimon. Paimon's never felt this way before during any of her travels. She only started feeling this way since we arrived in Snezhnaya.
That's right. The Armory Palace needs a brand new energy source.
Oh.
Could that have something to do with this?
भाई ने हिंट दे के गया है अपने को अच्छा खासा.
What is it? You're making that face again. You know. So, they're trying to develop a new energy source here? Well, Mitya denied that the energy they're researching has any side effects. Although, and even so, those are completely different symptoms from Paimon's. It's pretty faint, so it's kind of hard to tell. But, if anything, sure, Paimon's with you there. But how, though? The robot only has a limited amount of ends. Oh, great point. They argue about Project Stuja every day. If we could sit in... Good idea! Oh yeah, while you were out, Paimon tried all the yummiest looking desserts in the Potforia restaurant.
मैंने 10 मिलियन रुपए का जमा के रखा था, पाइमॉन सब खर्च करेगी।
This one seemed right up your alley. So, Paimon saved some for you. Come try it once you finish writing your letter.
ये पैनकेक सैंडविच है with butter on top. Bread? Yeah, wow, really? Wow, what it is that? फूड क्रिटिंग गेम भी करेंगे हम लोग। ये लोग साला इतना जिस स्पीड से ये लोग चल रहे हैं, बीच बीच में हम लोग फूड क्रिटिक भी बनेंगे।
Alosha replied. He says that we won't be able to speak at the Vetcha, but he can arrange for us to attend as visitors.
बहुत है, बहुत है, बहुत है। इनके सबके निकालेगा मैं। अच्छा, डायरेक्ट नहीं जा सकता।
Time to get ready. Then head to the Snezhnagrad Vetcha.
इसके साथ एक्ट 1 खत्म होएगा अभी, ऐसा लग रहा है मेरे को।
Miss Vodyanitsa, prima donna of the Korolievsky troupe. What a surprise meeting you here. Will you be sitting in on a session of the Vetcha?
अरे वो कौन कितना एनर्जी कंजम्पशन कर रहा है? अभी इनके प्रोजेक्ट फ्यूचर के वजह से ये लोग एनर्जी कंजम्पशन ज्यादा कर रहे हैं, तो इन लोगों ने पब्लिक के लिए लिमिट सेट किया है, फैक्टर्स के लिए लिमिट सेट किया है, तो सब लोग वो पाल रहे हैं कि नहीं, सब लोग अपना बराबर ये कर रहे हैं कि नहीं, प्लस उसको नया एनर्जी सोर्स रिसर्च करने बोला। काम का बंदा है, काम का बंदा है।
Sorry, I'm not taking interviews today. Oh good, you're here. The session's about to begin. Let's get inside.
Please wait, Miss Vodyanitsa. Could you introduce me to your new friend?
काय को? ये डोरे डाल रही है मेरे पे, मेरे कैरेक्टर पे। करो तुम्हारी ऐसी की तैसी करो एक्शन। गेंशिन इम्पैक्ट के अंदर का पार्लियामेंट हाउस। सांड्रो ने दिखे मेरे को, टाटा दिखा मेरे को।
In summary, the energy management commitments made for the outgoing period have been delivered upon. Furthermore, both the production and consumption of Kresnik Crystal show clear signs of stabilizing. The relevant agencies have assessed the present circumstances and determined that the status quo can be sustained until the next period. For detailed statistics, I would refer you to the industry reports that have been distributed to all persons present.
Okay. एक और बड़ा स्पॉइलर भाई ने मेरे कैजुअली ड्रॉप कर दिया।
It should also be noted that while the recent blizzards have led to a significant increase in people's energy expenses, this is strictly a short-term phenomenon associated with a remotely located monster. Her Majesty the Tsaritsa is giving her full attention to this matter. We should have every confidence that it will be dealt with swiftly and conclusively.
वाह रे भाई, क्या ही सवाल पूछ लिया तूने। अरे कल ही तो हम लोग पूरा हार्बिंगर का सिस्टम एक्सप्लेन कर रहे थे।
A financial report on disaster relief is also present in this report, courtesy of Pantalone.
ये हरामखोर है, ये मेरे को पता है।
They cover the same old ground every single time. The rooster never seems to mind, but Everyone else is getting tired of it. There's a general lack of trust. People aren't seeing any tangible benefits that affect them directly. Of course, none of that will be reflected in any of the reports on the table.
Yeah, if it weren't for these hard copy documents, I could have at least made something up. Oh, don't mind me. I'm just out here trying to hit my interview quotas. Bring out the kvass. Ever read it? Best-selling newspaper in town.
If I remember correctly, you guys don't even have a sales permit. You have to sell from stalls on the street.
Okay then, best-selling street stall newspaper in town. Still counts.
Order! We will now open the floor to the representatives. If there are no further substantive issues to discuss, we will then proceed to a vote on this motion.
भाई क्या ही इसको स्मूथ एनिमेशन किया है रे, इतना इजीली उसका ये फेदर एलिगेंटली ये कर रहा है.
Snezhnaya has a long tradition of treating members of the Fatui armed forces and their dependents favorably. But recent surveys shows that Fatui families in remote areas have access to 15% less crystal than the average civilian family in Snezhnograd. It's been said many times before, but it bears repeating now. There needs to be a clear and consistent rationale behind how crystal is allocated, or we will soon face immense public backlash.
Perhaps you wouldn't need to keep repeating yourself if you would hear me out for once. I say again, true consistency exists only in principle. In the real world, fairness is relative.
अच्छा ठीक है भाई, तो और स्पॉइलर देते जा रहा है, ऐसा नहीं लग रहा तेरे को धीरे धीरे? एक तो मेरा भाई इतना कंफ्यूज है, उसको कैसे तो करके मैंने ये किया कि भाई रुक ले, हम लोग स्टोरी प्रोग्रेस करेंगे, तेरे को सारे डॉट्स समझ जाएंगे. तू तो ना भाई नेक्स्ट लेवल पे आगे ही भागते जा रहा है.
You appear to treat resource allocation as a simple function of production and population. So what about when the equipment used in production breaks down? Have you factored that into your equation? And do you even know how long it's been since Snezhnaya last conducted a census?
If I knew the answers to questions like that, I'm sure I'd be a very wealthy man. And I doubt I'd be going by child. I'd like to bring the focus back to the specific issue I raised. Or do you wish to deny that favorable treatment for Fatui dependents is our long-standing policy?
It's easy to be a critic when there's no accountability. That seems to be a running theme in the anti-Project Stuja cohort. Defeat the ringleader and all other problems will magically resolve themselves. That's what they seem to think.
डिकोड कर रखा नहीं है उसने, पहले ही खेल रखा है आर्कन क्वेस्ट. जो जो ये 2 एक्ट में हुआ है वो सब अपने को धीरे धीरे ऐसा करते फीड करते जा रहा है.
But in case you aren't aware, not one jot in my report would change whether Project Stuja continues or not.
So you have no intention whatsoever of finding a solution to this problem?
On the contrary, I'm the only one here who ever brings solutions.
Child opened by speaking up for the armed forces. Regraders struck back with style and a war of words ensued.
Okay, reporter Didi getting excited.
Our reporter was live on the scene to get the audience's reaction as it all unfolded. Who do you support? The people have spoken. Child received raucous applause from the crowd as he pushed Regrader onto his back with a relentless barrage of questions.
Hey, मेरे
It
rooster.
had to be seen to be believed.
ये जोर से बोल रही है, ऐसे लिख रही है.
Now you see why they don't have a sales permit.
However this reporter wants to spin things, I haven't forgotten that Tartaglia was representing the Northland Bank when we first met in Liyue. So surely their relationship can't always have been this strained.
You two are getting off topic. Let's focus on what the data is saying.
Mr. Pantalone, may I speak on your behalf?
Oh, please do. I'm more than happy to save my breath.
Crystal distribution policy undergoes modifications with each new period. The ultimate goal being to find the most reasonable method of allocation, which I believe is what Mr. Tartaglia also seeks. But I fear many may have been misled on this topic by extremist activists. To clarify, Project Stuja is not the root cause of the problem. It is merely a framework for resource distribution. The most recent reports all point to Snezhnaya's resilience and adaptability during this period of fine-tuning, and give clear indications that a distribution framework is improving with each iteration. To make drastic adjustments without first considering the risks would likely do more harm than good. It would be a waste of the hard-won experience we've gained to date.
Renowned scholar of finance, Arapov spoke up to clarify the fiscal logic, clearly alluding to social organizations like the Rokot in his words. With the notorious Lelek still active to this day, should the Rokot be held responsible? No, there is someone else to blame.
She's just rephrasing what Mr. Pantalone said. The Rokot are the critics he accuses of taking no responsibility for their actions.
हेलो सर कौन? हाँ अच्छा मीठा भाई अपना.
As for Lilac, you won't have heard of him yet. He's currently the most famous member of the Rokot. Ending Project Stuja has become an obsession for him. Unlike the more decent ones among us, he believes that votes in the Vetcha are all that matter. So whether it's threats, coercion, or bribery, he'll use whatever means necessary to get people to change their vote.
And since we're already on the subject, what do you think of Lelek's methods? Are you for or against? Well, whatever the story is, his actions benefit us all. We stand with Lelek.
At least someone here wants to take this discussion seriously. I've been considering that issue myself. What you really need is more precise regional data, right? I think it would be easiest to let the Fatui handle it, since they're already in charge of crystal shipments anyway. We may as well get them to collect some data while they're at it.
अरे स्कार्फ ही इतना यूनिक है उसका, और तो कैरेक्टर यूनिक ही होगा.
Whatever you need, you can ask the Fatui to look into it for you. In terms of supervision, I think the Druzhna would be a good fit. I had hoped to discuss this with Miss Vesna, but sadly, she's not present.
I will be happy to take a note of your suggestions and present them to Commander Vesna for a decision upon her return. The Commander has always taken a keen interest in Project Stuja. However, given the Druzhna's demanding workload, I'm afraid it may prove difficult for them to provide any practical support.
Let us refrain from jumping to conclusions until a concrete and actionable plan is in place.
Okay, ठीक है.
My apologies, Lord Rooster.
There are numerous issues to address here, including manpower, time sensitivity, and reporting lines. Nevertheless, I support drafting a proposal. Follow the usual procedure, and it can be raised as a new motion for all parties to evaluate at the appropriate time.
In that case, I'd like to share one thought before the proposal is drafted. The issue of time sensitivity was raised just now, which I presume relates to the official reports. In fact, the Energy Commission already collects regular statistics on each urban center and its surrounding area. Would these be of any use?
That's a good idea. I read every issue of Sviet Lolaidovka's report, and although my focus is mostly on the section about equipment operation, the energy consumption statistics also yield a lot of insight.
Be that as it may, does no one see an issue with using local data to determine crystal quotas? In the long...
Not if they are used purely for reference. So long as we have the report from the Northland Bank's headquarters to corroborate it, no one will be able to fool me.
Very well then. It appears that this arrangement is acceptable to all parties.
Hey, मेरे भाई ने restraint दिखाया रे, restraint दिखाया मेरे भाई ने.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
The members reached a provisional consensus on the issue of improving treatment for Fatui soldiers. Today, the prima donna of the Korylevsky troupe attended a session of the Snezhnograd Vecha in the company of a dashing young man. The question on all our minds is, what is the true nature of their relationship?
Now that is what we are talking about.
Write anything like that again, and I'm revoking your permission to interview the troupe. Got it?
Now then, if there are no further contributions from those present, we shall proceed to the final vote.
Hey, check it out! What made him vote against? Why now?
Majority against जाने दे बस मजा आएगा.
The votes have been tallied. Those in favor of continuing Project Stuzha total 61%.
कोई नहीं यार, subscribe करते चलो guys.
That was too close. The margin has shrunk yet again. Chuganov was a huge loss.
I'll bet Lelek is behind this. I wonder how Pulcinella will respond this time.
Chuganov. I see. Lelek strikes again.
Yes. Go, Lelek. Once Project Stuzha is defeated, our unwavering support at Bring Out the Kvass will finally pay off when we make our comeback. I can taste our victory already!
In accordance with the result of this vote, Project Stuzha will remain in effect until the next Vecha period. Finally, may I remind us all, we debate only for the greater glory and solidarity of our nation. May the aurora shine ever on, and the tundra always stand firm.
भाई तूने मेरी विशिंग रिचुअल नहीं देखी फिर. हाँ तू लेट ज्वाइन किया था. हाँ तो बुधवार को नहीं था लेट. भाई साहब जो रिचुअल मारी थी मैंने, क्योंकि मेरे को पता था मेरे को 50-50 जीत के ऑडिट निकालनी है, क्योंकि वो नहीं निकली तो फिर मेरे को ऑडिट निकालने का सवाल ही नहीं है. मेरे को वाड़ा दीदी के लिए सेव करना पड़ता. लेकिन ऑडिट निकल चुकी है. इस वाले पैच में लीक्स तो बता रहे हैं कि ठीक ठाक अमाउंट में मिलने वाले प्रीमोस. देखते हैं.
The session is concluded.
सिर्फ वोड़ा के बाद कोई अच्छा नहीं होना चाहिए. मतलब ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि जो मतलब है ना मस्ट पुल हो, थोड़ा ऐसा क्वेश्चनेबल कैरेक्टर टाइप दूसरे नेशन का या कीपेबल ये वो. फिर मेरा ठीक है, वरना मेरे प्रीमो जेम्स के रिजर्व की सब ऊपर से नीचे तक लग जाएगी.
I really wasn't expecting Chukunov to vote against Project Stuzha. Well, in principle, Snezhnaya's business and political elites ought to be the ones least likely to oppose it. As we heard, Project Stuzha is basically just a resource distribution framework that requires everyone to cut back during the winter. But even if the policy got cancelled, the Tsaritsa's energy needs wouldn't suddenly go down. The extra demand from the public would have to be filled from somewhere. So logically, the factories would have to take the hit.
For Mitea, you need Alyosha है, Wardenissa है, और मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ. अगले में Wardenissa दो, वाड़ा दीदी दो. Mitea एक गैप लेके दो. 7.2 में कोई तो दूसरे नेशन का कैरेक्टर लाओ, उसके बाद Mitea दो. नहीं भेंडी 7.3 में तो फिर तारिसा भी आएगी. देवा मेरे प्रीमो जब रिजर्व की ऊपर से नीचे तक लग जाएगी रे. 7.3 में तो अपनी क्रायोताई भी तो आएगी. उसके लिए किधर से निकालूं फिर?
I got a letter from Mr. Mitya just before today's session. He said he's confirmed that there are issues around overtime and excessive energy consumption at the Iskra manufacturing plant. In a situation like this, once the Rooster receives the report, he'll order the factory to halt production and submit to an investigation before issuing a penalty. But that's a week-long process, and thus didn't make it onto the Vecha agenda this time. I don't think he suspects anything so far. Exactly. And as you know, he's a very selfish person. I was originally gonna try and flip him after he received notice of the official sanctions. My plan was to convince him that the whole thing was completely unfair.
वो आ सकता है और उसको लेना। अरे भाई मैंने उसका ये ठीक है रे, लेकिन मैंने ऐसा ये किया है कि भाई मतलब ठीक ठाक अपन आर्कॉन लेवल कैरेक्टर्स लेते चलेंगे करके। The only exceptions are Furina, Zhongli and Venti. क्योंकि जब तक आ लिया था तब तक जोंगली और वेंटी बहुत पूरे में हो चुके थे और फुरीना का मेरे को कॉन्सेप्ट ही कभी समझ में नहीं आया।
Rather than just sit back and take the hit while his factory stopped production, he'd be better off voting to end Project Stuja. At least that way, no one else would be able to make any money either, because all the factories would suddenly have more limited energy to work with.
ना इतना टेंशन मैं नहीं लेता। हाँ, इतना टेंशन मैं नहीं लेता। मिला नहीं मिला गया भाड़ में। C2 तो बहुत दूर की बात है।
But now, he's already voted against it, which means someone must have used more forceful means to change his vote, just like with everyone else who flipped. Yeah, no one knows why Lilac is so obsessed with ending Project Stuja. By the looks of it, he's inching closer and closer to success.
मेरा मेन पर्पस है गेम खेलो, एंजॉय करो, ग्राइंड करो, ऑफ कोर्स। उसके बदले रिवॉर्ड मिला नहीं मिला गेम गया भाड़ में, चलो आगे बढ़ो। इतना भाई हर गाचा गेम का अगर सोचते बैठा मैं तो मेरे चैनल छोड़ मेरे पूरे करियर का चालू होने से पहले सत्यानाश हो लेगा। क्योंकि जो भी कमाएगा मैं, अगर मेरे पास फिर भी चैनल ना हो तो भी मैं गेम में डाल देगा। इतना थोड़ी सोचना होता है। अरे कैरेक्टर डिस्कशन सोलो लेवलिंग में कैसे स्पेसिफिक टीम लगती है ना, 3 की इधर 4 की लगती है, तो वही चालू है। सिंपल शब्द, वो जो अपने को स्कार्फ वाला भाई मिला था ना, उसकी प्रीमियम टीम की बात चालू है, कोई नहीं।
Lilac must have strong motivations, given how he'll stop at nothing to achieve his goal. Maybe he knows the full truth of Project Stuja.
देख सोलो लेवलिंग का कैसा पता है क्या? 70 में C1 होता है, मतलब कैरेक्टर को फर्स्ट रिफाइनमेंट मिलता है। वो लोग हर पैच कोशिश करते हैं कि भाई 100 के आसपास निकल ले पुल्स हर एक बंदे के। अरे वो एक स्पेसिफिक मोड के लिए है ना, मैक्सिमम 3 पे फोकस रहेगा। एक स्पेसिफिक मोड आएगा जिसमें 4 चाहिए, इसमें सभी के लिए 4 चाहिए, वो डिफरेंस है। एंड एसेंस का उनका भी डिफरेंस है। सोलो लेवलिंग मेक श्योर कि हर पैच 100 मिलने चाहिए, मतलब 50-50 भी हारा तो भी नसीब अच्छा है तो कैरेक्टर का A0 तो मिल ले। कैरेक्टर पिट 90 है, 60 से ज्यादा प्रीमोजम हर पैच देने के लिए ये लोग रोते हैं, और ऊपर से एक्सपेक्ट भी करते हैं कि हम लोग C1 C2 निकाले बिना पैसा खर्च किए। कैसे है उनको ही पता।
Maybe my next step should be to focus on him.
All right. What are your plans for the rest of the day? Shall we head out?
Hey, comrade. I noticed you were here during the debate.
I didn't take you for a political enthusiast.
तुम लोग क्या हक्का मारे हो, देखना तो पड़ेगा ना मेरे को खुद क्या।
Greetings, Harbingers. I just happened to have some free time today, and my new friend here thought it might be fun to check out the Vetcha.
Ah, Odette must have introduced you. Looks like you two are getting along pretty well.
I'll leave you to catch up. I should head back to the troop.
Sure. Break a leg and all that. Thought it might be fun to check out the Vetcha, did you? Things are never that simple with you, Traveler. There's no way you're here for kicks and giggles. Tell me I'm wrong.
Oh, yeah. To some, he's a captivating enigma. To others, he's the bane of their existence. No one ever thought that some anonymous nobody from the Rokot could cause such a stir.
उस मामले में मैं आपके साथ है, चाइल्ड मेरे भाई।
Huh? You want to look into Lelik? Then I'm sure his days of anonymity are numbered. What do you think, Sandrone?
जिस तरीके से इसने बोला है, मेरे को लग रहा है इन दोनों में से एक है।
Fine by me, I guess. If the Traveler actually manages to expose Lelik, it'll be doing Pulcinella a favor.
पिटाला तो नहीं, अपना मीठा भाई तो नहीं.
In return, it seems fair to let him in on what we've learned so far.
My thoughts exactly. Sharing is caring after all. Head back to Glupov and grab the files on Lelik. It's easier to just pull the records than go through the rigmarole of getting the Traveler a visitor's permit.
As you command, child, sir.
In that case, since we're going to be waiting anyway, I'll have someone brew a pot of black tea.
Chichi. Hey, black tea orange का
One
को दिख रही
common
है.
thread among the many incidents Lelik has been involved in is that the victims are all too scared to share any real information about him. Clearly, he must have threatened them in some way. His modus operandi is to silently infiltrate the scene and leave a threatening letter behind. But neither the letters nor the crime scenes ever yield any clues to his identity. So all these files have to offer are short statements by the people affected. They don't give us a lot to go on.
If nothing else, it shows we're dealing with a trained professional who's versed in counter surveillance.
Yes, and to that point, he often strikes in highly secure locations. The victims are high-ranking and influential people who take their personal security very seriously. Somehow, Lelik slips right into their rooms without making a sound. There's never any eyewitnesses, nor the slightest trace of a break-in. If he can get in and out undetected, it means he can strike without warning. Not that that's ever happened so far, but the thought is enough to scare these people sleepless.
तो किसी की भी फटेगी.
It's hard to believe that a human being could pull this off flawlessly every time, so they switched the focus of the investigation to Faye. Unfortunately, careful, don't underestimate me. Although truth be told, I'd probably find it hard not to blow my cover. Direct confrontation is more my style.
We haven't ruled out the possibility of Lelik being human. It's just, there can only be a handful of people in all of Teyvat who'd fit the profile. Faye, on the other hand, plenty would have the ability, but few would have the motive.
No, not as strong as me. You'll never find the culprit with criteria like that. Let's go with a little weaker than me.
नहीं स्कर्ट का नाम लेके जानबूझ के हम लोग.
There's no denying that Master is strong, but meticulous. We can only hope.
Hey रे मेरे बच्चा, तेरे को कुछ नहीं पता.
He's just trying to find a reference point. Stop getting fixated on who's stronger than who.
But that's the most important thing. In my opinion, anyway.
वो तो मैं हाथ भी नहीं लगाऊं.
Odette? Yeah, that seems about right. Her skills are solid, and she's always calm under pressure.
Okay.
Except she's Fatui, so the likelihood of her working against us is pretty low. But yeah, much more accurate than your previous example, at least.
No, wait a moment. Maybe we should interrogate that assumption.
What do you mean? Which assumption?
Her Fatui identity doesn't necessarily exonerate her. And when you think about it, the Rokot would be precisely what she needs to conceal her identity.
बंदे लोग खेलते क्यों हैं फिर? $1,000. 1,000.
Plus, she wouldn't need to be such a pro at covering her tracks. She'd already know where the Fatui will be and when, so she could choose the perfect time to act. Oh, yikes. I was just thinking out loud. Why is this starting to sound like such a convincing theory? Still, what reason could Odette possibly have for trying to call off Project Snezhnaya?
1 minute. Never.
Arlecchino would be the best person to ask. She knows Odette best. Unfortunately, she isn't back yet.
Summoner's War ना हाँ Never play Summoner's War बोर्ड में लिखा है मैंने डायरी में भाई मैंने बोर्ड में लिख दिया भाई मेरे चैनल का क्या उद्धार होएगा उतने में
Rosaline used to open up to her in private about her struggles with Odette. As I'm sure you can imagine, Arlecchino is quite a lot better with children than Rosaline was. She gave her some tips on how to handle the situation, and Rosaline managed to reach a settlement with Odette before leaving. So I suppose there were at least no lifelong regrets left behind. Beyond that, I don't know the details about that side of things. But I do know that Odette definitely has a motive to hold a grudge against Project Stuzha. The reason being, her father passed away during the early stages of the project.
Okay. Interesting.
That was back before it had been named Project Stuzha, when things were still being worked out. But in essence, it's remained the same ever since.
Anna, भाई अरे चैनल छोड़ हम सबका क्या उद्धार होएगा अगर अपने में से एक के पास भी आए तो उतने देवा
Huh. The more you know. Rosaline was always so self-centered. I never understood why she started paying so much attention to Odette.
भाई एक्सचेंज बिक्शन पकड़ के अगर 90 रुपीस भी रेट पकड़ा तो 1,35,000 1 लाख भाई मैं आपके रूम में लाइटिंग के साथ मेरा सेटअप बदल जाएगा 10-20 हजार का मस्त कैमरा आलेगा मस्त माइक आलेगा मेरा एक वीडियो कैप्चर डिवाइस आलेगा फिर मेरा इस पे सिर्फ गेम चलेगा इस पे स्ट्रीम होएगा इधर से अभी मेरे को चैट पढ़ने के लिए इधर यूट्यूब खोल के बैठना पड़ता है उधर मैं प्रॉपर ओबीएस का मतलब चैट विंडो करके ये कर सकता है भाई शपथ ले एक कैरेक्टर
Is that such a surprise? If you cast your mind back, you may remember that Rosaline and I were exactly close.
सबसे पहले
We had tea together a few times, but that was about it.
उससे भी गेम कितने गेम खेल सकते हैं फिर मैं
Odette's past is no secret. Her father was a Fatui and her mother was a very famous ballerina. On the surface, it looks like she followed right in her parents' footsteps. But the truth is quite a different story. After her father passed away on a mission, her mother was overcome with grief. She broke her leg during a performance and could never dance again. Odette was only interested in ballet at the time, but this tragedy left the family with both breadwinners gone. They could barely make ends meet.
अरे फेमस लोग ही तो बोला तो बहुत पैसा कमा के रखा रहेगा इन लोगों ने वो प्रॉपर फटुई वो फेमस बैलरीना अरे तुम्हारा एक एक्सीडेंट और इनका पैसा ही खत्म
Per Capitano's policy, family members of Fatui who died in the line of duty had to be appropriately accommodated and provided with adequate assistance.
अरे PS6 का बहुत टाइम है हाँ PS6 के लिए 27-28 उजाड़ने दे
So, regardless of how Rosaline may have felt about it, it fell to her to resolve the issue of Odette's family's livelihood. In the end, the solution they agreed upon was to have Odette join the Fatui.
हाँ लेकिन एक है भाई सबके पास कोक का सेटअप हो जाएगा PS5 होने दे 6 होने दे GTA होने दे FC26 का अल्टीमेट एडिशन होने दे 10,000 का
Right, because the alternative would have been a one-off compensation payment, I guess. In that sense, joining up was definitely the better option.
भाई लोग खेलते हैं सबसे बड़ा सवाल जो सबसे लास्ट हम लोग पूछ रहे हैं लोग खेलते हैं फिर भी
Still, she must have had mixed feelings about it, right? If she doesn't even like the Fatui.
It's just a theory, a possibility. But as a motive
और
for
मैक्सिमम भी करते हैं कैरेक्टर
it holds up.
कैरेक्टर मैक्सिमाइज भी करते हैं आई शपथ रे
That said, I have no idea where Odette's head is at right now, or what her conflict with Rosaline was about.
स्ट्रीम नहीं होता, स्टीम होता है वो। नहीं भाई, स्टीम से सस्ता पड़ता है, क्योंकि थोड़ा वेट किया तो सेल वगैरह आता है। स्टीम, एपिक गेम, जीओजी करके है। एक्चुअल अगर तेरे को फ्लेक्स करना है ना गेम लेने का, तो वो है प्ले स्टेशन स्टोर। प्ले स्टेशन बोल रहा हूँ, हाँ प्ले स्टेशन ही, PS5 प्ले स्टेशन ही हो गए।
Plenty of people were on bad terms with Rosaline. I have no intention of trying to figure it all out. Yes, but there's not much point in discussing that now.
Yeah, back to Lelik. Since our investigations so far have turned up next to nothing, we've got nothing to lose by trying a new angle. Funnily enough, Tonya and I had actually made plans to go to the theater tomorrow to watch Odette's rehearsal. Unfortunately, thanks to this Lelik situation, I'll be stuck working overtime again.
तो हम लोग babysitting कर रहे हैं, simple.
Which means you can go in my place.
Yeah,
No point wasting the ticket. Plus, you'll get to meet Tonya.
Spirit Seeker. Quite the classic ballet. It was passed down through Odette's mother's family, but Odette's been practicing it diligently, and it's finally ready for a return to the stage.
Tonya's excited for it too. She's desperate to see it no matter what. Personally, it's not really my kind of thing, but since she's my little sister, I had to figure something out.
रुक ले। एक दिन आएगा जब हम लोग भी ऐसी हरकतें करेंगे।
I've actually seen it several times before. The story's pretty straightforward. The lead character follows a trail of clues left behind by a spirit, gradually recovering her memories along the way.
एक मिनट रे, मेरे को एक छोटा सा कैलकुलेशन करने दो। 12 मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 2, 24 मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 90 डिवाइडेड बाय 40। भाई अगर किसी की किस्मत खराब हो तो गेंशिन इंपैक्ट में एक कैरेक्टर का कितना बन रहा है पता है क्या? मैक्स करने के लिए 7 कॉपीज लगते हैं, 5 वेपन लगते हैं, 12 50-50 पकड़ा तो 24 पुल। हर पुल के लिए 90 पीटी और 10,000 रुपया खर्च किया तो जाके मिलते हैं 40 पुल। तो ऐसा 54 टाइम रिचार्ज करना पड़ेगा, मैक्स वाला 100 वाला। भाई $5,500 बन रहा है।
It's a tale of love and regret. So not exactly reinventing the wheel, at least by today's standards. But when that classic melody kicks in and the lead character begins to dance, it always gets me. It really is beautiful.
वर्ष के सिनेरियो गेंशिन इंपैक्ट का हर 50-50 हारते हुए। हाँ, क्योंकि मैक्स अपने इंडिया में 10,000 का है, बाहर $100 का है, जिससे 40 पूल्स मिलते हैं। ये तो बच्चा है फिर समनर्स और कोई नहीं।
Not an easy dance to do justice to, though.
लेकिन वर्ष के सिनेरियो है।
It's been Odette's dream to perform this piece, but I'm not sure she's really ready.
बेस्ट मैंने देखा है, मैं देखता हूँ ना, 1,000-2,000 में हो जाता है उनका भी, लेकिन भाई $1,000-2,000।
In that case, I think that even if she is Lelik, we should wait until her performance is over before we respond. I'll let you take it from here, comrade.
ये हम लोग होटल इधर यही कर रहे थे। बुरा दिखता है 500 भाई सोलो लेवलिंग का भी अगर हाँ अच्छा सॉरी वो रिप्ले कायदे से देखा जाए तो 11 लगते हैं, 50-50 हारा तो टोटल 22 पुल, हर कैरेक्टर का 70 पीटी, तो 1540 पुल्स लगेंगे, which is nice, which is a lot better. और पैसा भी कम ही है ना।
Ton of progress today. It's good that everything's going so smoothly.
भाई कैसे वेल लोग कैसे खर्च कर लेते। हाँ कंटेंट क्रिएटर है उनका समझ में आता है कि भाई रोजी रोटी है, जो लोग कंटेंट नहीं बनाते सिर्फ एंजॉयमेंट के लिए स्पेंड करते, बाप रे क्या ही कमाते रहेंगे वो लोग।
Next step is to head back to the theater and get a clear answer from Odette. Either way, Paimon doesn't get the sense that she's a bad person. Sure, she might have done some pretty extreme things, but Paimon bet she has her reasons. Maybe this is going too far, but like, with everything she's managed to do so far, wouldn't it make more sense in theory to be even more, you know, heavy-handed? Why leave a letter when she could, well, we know there are plenty of other ways to keep people in line, right? The point is, she could have gone further, but she didn't.
ब्लेजो भाई ब्लेजो समना सोच छोड़ो, मेरे गेंशिन इंपैक्ट कैलकुलेशन का क्या कहना है? $5,400। ब्लेजो भाई का रिस्पांस चाहिए मेरे को, ब्लेजो भाई का।
So, if it is her, she's got some principles at least. Yeah. Well, all you can do is follow the facts wherever they... No change, really. But that thing Paimon told you about yesterday? Paimon feels like she can sense it more clearly now. Hearing you talk about your day makes Paimon itch for an adventure. If only she could be there with you so we could experience it all together.
Yeah, I wish you could be there too. I'm not used to adventuring alone. But don't worry, we'll get to the bottom of this.
Guess it's just one of those things. Never mind. Paimon will behave herself and keep resting.
If Odette is Lelik, she may well have inside information on Project Stuja. Her father was involved with the project's early implementation and tragically died in the process. Now, she's dedicated herself to bringing it to an end. It's hard to imagine she could have gotten this far without knowing anything at all about the Tsaritsa's true intentions. When she spoke to us as a member of the Fatui, how much did she let on? And how much was she hiding? Only time will tell. Maybe tomorrow, everything will be answered.
Hey look! It's snowing! Could be a tough day ahead. Make sure you wrap up warm tomorrow.
What sentimental ये जो भाई ने हो लिया रे देवा। हे ना ही बोल,
The
ना ही
Odysseus
बोल।
arts are most miraculous. But unless one first cultivates...
I really appreciate the honesty, ब्लेजो भाई। लेकिन ब्लेजो भाई ने किस नेक्स्ट लेवल पे एक्सपीरियंस फार्म किया है ये देख रहे हैं कि हम लोग ये रियलाइज कर रहे हैं। भाई सूर्या स्टार्टिंग से लेके अब तक मैसेज खींच के रखा, लेकिन भाई अभी भी नंबर 2 पर ही है। ब्लेजो भाई सिर्फ कैमियोस मार रहे हैं, लेकिन नंबर 1 पे। तो ब्लेजो भाई ने पुराने वाले लाइव स्ट्रीम्स में क्या एक्सपी गेन करके रखा है।
mind before cultivating these arts, all their feats will be like the moon's reflection
हे मेरे चैनल एम्बेसडर,
on water, shattering at the slightest
पोजीशन खतरे में है। एक तो किक पे भी ये नहीं कर रहा है यार। एक बंदे को लाया था, उसने किक किधर है पूछा, किक का एड्रेस बताया, लेकिन वो किक पे गया ही नहीं और उसके बाद वापस दिखा भी नहीं। अरे थिएटर जा रहे थे ना, बीच में ही कांड हो लिया। टेंशन मत लो, आप बोलोगे भी तो भी वाईटी हटा देगा क्या? हेलो सर, क्या? अच्छा हाँ हाँ हाँ, मॉडरेट, हाँ मॉडरेशन, हाँ। जमाइला स्टॉर्म का को आया लेकिन
Ooh, it sure is cold today. I wonder how much heavier the snow's gonna get. Here to see Odette? I just need to see your tickets for the preview.
हाँ चलेगा, देख ले।
Perfect. Thank you.
चलो
I'll
guys,
hold on to your tickets. Come on in. It's freezing outside.
प्लीज लाइक एंड सब्सक्राइब करते चलिए, मोटिवेशन मिलता है और कुछ नहीं। अच्छा लगता है, दिल को तसल्ली मिलती है वो नंबर ऐसे बढ़ते हुए देखकर। कौन है रे जिसने लाइक नहीं किया?
I think I'll leave the Lelic question until after the show's over. Then I'll go find Odette. Child said he was originally going to come with Tonya. So I'm guessing Tonya's already here somewhere. Is there anyone here who looks like a Tonya? Let's see. It's a small audience. Makes sense for a preview. But wait, I do see some familiar faces.
तो सर हेलो ब्लेजो भाई, किक पे फॉलो कर लेते हैं, इसमें क्या है? तो मैं इतने दिनों से कौन सी भाषा में लाइव कर रहा था? मैंने स्पेशल ओबीएस में 2 काउंटर बना के रखे हैं, ये ऐसा बीच बीच में टॉगल करते रहता है। इतने दिनों से मैं कौन सी भाषा में लाइव कर रहा था? अच्छा, टी ब्लेज 88, हा हा, किक पे मैसेज डाला। मेरे को क्या सुकून मिला रही है। नंबर क्यों नहीं बढ़ा लेकिन? फॉलोअर काउंट ही नहीं बढ़ा लेकिन अब तक। कोई नहीं, चल कोई नहीं, कोई नहीं। हाँ, ये ऐसा देख के मेरे को मस्त लगा। जस्ट फॉलो द चैनल।
Mr. Chuganov's back again by the looks of it. Oh, and is that Mitya? And that Fatui officer, Valeri. Guess he must be playing cat and mouse with Mitya again. Oh no. It looks like the show's starting and I still haven't found Tonya.
Let's see the dance, guys. हम लोग कल्चरली बहुत एजुकेट हो रहे हैं आज। पहले हमने एक ओपेरा देखा, अभी हम लोग एक बैलेरिना परफॉर्मेंस देख रहे हैं। हे रे देवा भाई, अरे मैं थंबनेल में भी फोटो लगा के आता है किक का। ठंडी बढ़ रही है, ठंड बढ़ रही है, ठंड बढ़ रही है।
Hello, members of the audience. I'm a staff member here at the theater. Today's performance was a very special one for us.
Aizen!
It marks the first attempt in a long time to revive the classic Snezhnayan ballet, Spirit Seeker.
Aizen! हे मेरा राज भाई आइजन है। अच्छा नहीं, हेलो होमीज डाला है। हेलो हेलो आइजन भाई, को क्या हुआ? ये क्या लाइव खत्म होने के बाद नंबर अपडेट करेगा क्या? ये तो यूट्यूब से भी गया गुजरेला है। बैकएंड पे मैं मॉनिटरिंग कर रहा है, ये तो यूट्यूब से भी गया गुजरेला है। कोई नहीं आइजन भाई, हेलो, थैंक यू फॉर कमिंग।
To commemorate this occasion, we would love to take a group photo of the cast, crew, and audience members present today. Could I kindly ask the audience to please come up onto the stage?
हे चलो गाइस, अच्छा सबको ही बुलाया है। वाओ वाओ।
All right, everyone, huddle in a little more. Now, look at the camera. 1, 2, 3.
Are you quite satisfied, Mr. Energy Scientist? I rather hope you don't have any other escape plans to add to my workload today.
ये डायरेक्ट गायब ही होता है। मस्त भाई बस।
What are you talking about, Sarge? This was simply my way of inviting you to watch Miss Odette's new show with me.
Dialogue auto.
And wasn't the performance spectacular? In the future, I heartily encourage you to take a leaf out of my book. Find some soul-nourishing pastimes to enrich your time outside of work.
It was indeed a fine performance, but I must correct you on one point. This is not time outside of work. These are working hours.
Working hours and non-working hours are just a social construct. Human technology can never advance if we're too rigid in our thinking, Sarge.
May we leave now?
Already? I mean, I was kinda hoping to soak up the atmosphere for a little longer, but... No? Okay, guess I'm pushing my luck. Didn't seem like too much to ask, but fair enough. Off we go then, Sarge. Back to the land of working hours. Lead the way.
That has to be her. She's the only person in the audience around Tonya's age. Excuse me, are you Tonya?
Huh?
Your brother's busy today, so I took his ticket. Don't worry about him, he's fine.
Oh, okay. Sorry for the trouble.
Oh.
What's wrong? Are you sick?
No, I'm fine. It's nothing.
Maybe she caught a cold on the way here because of the weather.
चैनल डिस्क्रिप्शन में है लिंक, लेकिन हाँ ये तो सही बोला तूने।
like this in a long time.
हर अवार्ड के लिंक में इसमें भी डालना चाहिए मेरे को।
I know, it's completely white out there. You can barely see a thing. I've never seen such heavy snow in my life.
Let's wait it out for now. You'd be lucky not to freeze to death in this weather, let alone find...
Well, look at that. Maybe we shouldn't be in such a rush to get back after all.
Let's wait and see.
Why do you need to take it so seriously? Fate has given us this wonderful chance to take a break. We owe it to ourselves to make the most of it.
Come to think of it, there's a small inn not far from here that always keeps plenty of extra blankets on hand for guests. I know the route well. Shall I head over and borrow a few blankets? That way, anyone in a hurry can wrap up warm for the journey back. Just remember to return them next time you're over this way.
ये लेकिन ये रीस्ट्रीम आयो का ये फीचर मेरे को अच्छा लगा। मेरे चैट मैसेजेस इधर कर रहे हैं, मेरे को अलग से कुछ सेटअप करने की जरूरत नहीं है। मेरे किक वाले भाइयों के भी मैसेजेस दिख रहे हैं, मेरे यूट्यूब वालों के भी दिख रहे हैं, एंड मेरे किक वाले भाइयों के वीडियो मैसेजेस मेरे वीडियो में आ रहे हैं।
Sir, there's really no need to go to all that trouble.
Hey, it's no trouble at all. Wait here, I'll be right back.
Hey, तू खुद गायब बोलेगा? Sir,
what a kind gentleman. Very good. My wife and daughter are waiting for me at home, so I shall be heading back as soon as I get my blanket.
So... Are you expecting us to go back to the Armory Palace wrapped in blankets too?
Don't worry about that. I made arrangements in advance. Should I not return to the Armory Palace within 3.5 hours after Operation Showtime begins, An armed squad will be sent to collect us. They will escort us back. You are one of our key military personnel, so any weather-related risks must be eliminated.
Operation Showtime? So, wait. Every single time you drag me back to work when I sneak out, it's a whole official operation?
भाई इस मैसेज ने मेरे को यस बनेगा, मैं सक्सेसफुल बनेगा.
I gotta say, you've really
पल्टन की साइज अपनी बड़ी होएगी.
It's snowing pretty hard out there. I think you should stay here for now. You seem a little under the weather.
Sure. My brother might come pick me up in a bit anyway.
Time to get to work. I should head backstage and find Odette. I need to look her in the eye and ask her about Lelik.
Excuse me, are you looking for someone? How do you know that Miss Vodianitsa is backstage? Unless... oh! Are you here at Mr. Chuganov's behest? Sorry, but that area is currently off limits to everyone except the cast and crew.
टेंशन क्यों ले रहा है? तूने लाफिंग इमोजी से डाले तो टेंशन मत ले. अरे पड़ी जाएगी. वही तो बोला, एक सिंगल स्क्रीन पे मेरा काम चल रहा है. मेरे को YouTube के चैट और किक के चैट दोनों दिख रहे हैं.
To the gentleman who went to fetch the blankets? How has he still not returned?
ये तक मैं फोन दिखाता हूँ. If possible, बड़ा करके दिखाता हूँ मैं. ये देख, जम्मा अलग घंटा दिख रहा है इधर. हाँ नहीं इधर डायरेक्ट YouTube स्टूडियो ही दिखाता है ना. रुक भाई, सेटिंग कर रखी है ऐसा थोड़ी. भाई एक बार मैंने कांड कर लिया था, वो किक पे मैसेजेस आए थे और किक का मोबाइल मैंने इधर सामने रखा था तो मेरे मैसेजेस इग्नोर हो गए थे. तो इस बार सेटिंग करके रखा. इधर देख, जमाइला में ऊपर ही है. OBS मेरे को साइड में ले रही है थोड़े टाइम के लिए. देख ले, रीस्ट्रीम आयो करके आता है, ये मैं समझ जाते हैं उससे किक के है. YouTube वाले तो नॉर्मली दिख जाते हैं. और दूसरी स्क्रीन भी है उसके लिए, 2 लगा के रखे हैं मैंने. ऐसा टेंशन मत ले, मैसेजेस सबके पड़े जाएंगे. इतना बड़ा भी नहीं हुआ कि मैं मैसेजेस इग्नोर करने लग जाऊं. एक हाथ दूसरा गलती से हो जाता होगा, जानबूझ के कभी नहीं रे भाई. तुम लोग हो इसलिए मेरे को मजा आता है करने में.
I was thinking the same thing. It's still snowing very hard. Do you think something might have happened to him?
Whatever the reason for his delay, I must say I hate nothing more than people who make empty promises and fail to deliver. Well, I have to treat my employees like that on occasion, but that's different.
भाई वो जम्बूंग गया रहेगा बाहर. हाँ पढ़ा ना, 250 वाला पढ़ा मैं. डायना वाला भी पढ़ा. तू 400 का प्रॉमिस किया था मेरे को. 400 है, 400 में करना है. 150 किधर गई? वो जम बन गया रहेगा रे भाई लोग, जाके देखो उस पे कोई तो.
You seem anxious, Mr. Valeri.
It's been nearly 4 hours since I left the armory. The army should have arrived to extract us by now. They know how much I despise tardiness and disrupted plans. There's simply no reason that they shouldn't have shown up by now, barring exceptional circumstances.
Surely a snowstorm like this one counts as such.
Few things in this world can stop the Snezhnayan army, Mr. Mitya. And a snowstorm is certainly not one of them.
Why don't you go out and take a look? They might be right outside, waiting for your orders before they dare come in.
An absurd hypothesis. I have no intention of leaving your side for even a moment until I have escorted you back to the Armory Palace.
अरे हाँ, डायना दीदी भी तो है.
Like an ordinary snowstorm to me.
डायना दीदी भी तो है, उसका भी तो देखना है. उसका कुछ जुगाड़ बैठता है क्या?
That guy who left earlier. It looked like he just vanished into thin air. Either that, or my eyes were playing tricks on me.
A man-eating snowstorm? Come on. Night hasn't even fallen yet. Spare us the ghost stories.
हर मेरे भाई, सब लड़कियां हैं आने वाली दोनों.
Traveler, didn't know you were coming today. How come you didn't say anything?
गेम लिख दिया तूने.
Oh, right. I assumed you were looking for me and Vodyanitsa. Odette's still backstage. Whoa, that's quite a snowstorm out there. I've been working backstage this whole time, so I didn't even notice. No wonder the audience hasn't left yet.
Is weather like this rare, even in Snezhnaya?
मेरे भाई इतना बर्फ में
Yeah, snow like this. I'm sure I've seen it out in the wild before, but never in the city. Actually, I take that back. I don't think I've seen snow this bad even in the wild. This is something else. It's not normal.
If even Alosha thinks snow like this isn't normal, could it have anything to do with that monster people have been talking about?
We can't stay cooped up here forever. Someone needs to go out and take a look. No need. I have plenty of experience with snowstorms. Besides, I work here while you're an audience member.
Hey, tension मत ले रे. हम आते रुक.
Everyone by the door. Careful not to let the snow soak into your shoes. In a snowstorm, you gotta look after your toes above all else.
Heading out, my man? Be careful. I've been told the snowstorm eats people alive.
Thanks for the advice. I am planning to be careful. I just want to take a quick look at the situation out there.
मस्त रे. Proper wolf लग रहा है अभी तो ये.
He's back! He's back! How was it? What's going on out there?
Did you see any soldiers patrolling the area?
Something about this storm isn't right. There's no one out there. I didn't see a single soul. And something in the air gives me the creeps. This isn't your average snowstorm. I suspect it might be related to recent events in our nation. I strongly advise everyone to stay here until the snow dies down.
Are you serious? So all of us are trapped here now? That sounds a little far-fetched to me.
You want to go outside and see? I, for one, am not risking my neck in that weather.
Shabash, Didi, shabash.
This just turned from a minor delay into a major hassle.
We can only hope that our friend who went to fetch the blankets just ditched us and went home.
Is it really that bad? But my daughter, I won't be able to read her a bedtime story tonight.
Huh? What are you all still doing here? Whoa! It's snowing hard! So now we're stuck here? Oh, this is terrible! Luckily, it was just a dress rehearsal today, so there aren't too many people here. On the bright side, the theater's always well stocked with supplies. If the snow still doesn't let up as we get into the evening, you can spend the night here, everyone. At least, I assume that's alright? Odette? Fine by me.
This seems like a sensible backup plan under the circumstances. My thanks to the theater for being so accommodating.
What are you staring outside and praying for, my man? You anxious to get home too?
Oh, your majesty the Tsaritsa, I beg you, please do not let tonight's snowstorm stop.
Huh?
This is a golden opportunity to spend the night under the same roof as the two top stars in all of Snezhnaya. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
इसकी बीवी इसको पीछे से टपली मारे यार. मस्त मजा आएगा ऐसा. टप दीजिए.
I think I've changed my mind. Sir, if you so much as look at us funny, you'll be seeing stars in a whole other way. Behave yourself, or you'll be begging for that blizzard.
It's getting colder. We need to keep the indoor temperature up. Close the door and lock it tight. Let's head somewhere warmer.
Hey, we are officially in the Act 2. ये क्या है? Oh, okay, nice. बाद में देखेगा मैं. शिवम भाई, hello, welcome. अरे किधर है? अच्छा पीछे है सब लोग. आप कब से इस टॉर्चर हाउस में फंसे हुए हो जिसका नाम है गेंशिन इम्पैक्ट? पहले इधर के सबके मिल लो.
And then there's the aristocrats. Easiest of all to deal with. You don't need to use any force whatsoever. All you have to do is show them the rope you plan to tie them up with. Do you know why?
I don't. Do tell.
Because nothing horrifies them more than the thought of a cheap, coarse rope leaving creases on their precious million more coat. They'll do whatever you ask to avoid that fate.
Unexpected, but funny nonetheless. Tell me another one.
Well, look at that. I got myself a new listener. Hey there. Let me introduce myself. The name's Shram, and I'm a mercenary. The kind that gets paid to do odd jobs for rich folks.
And I am Chuganov, an entrepreneur. If my name is unfamiliar to you, you will no doubt have heard of my factory, the renowned Iskra manufacturing plant.
सूर्याश, तेरा जो लेटेस्ट मैसेज है, आपको ऑलमोस्ट 1 हफ्ते पहले लिंक भेजा था और आप अब आ रहे हो. तूने स्माइली इमोजी डाले, मैं कंफ्यूज हो रहा है. तूने धमकी दिया है, तुम सार्कास्टिकली मैसेज डाले रे.
Are you really that famous, Mr. Chuganov? How come I've never heard your name before?
Excuse me? Is that a joke? Or are you being serious?
Oh, I'll have to ask my rope later. He's probably tied up more entrepreneurs than I've ever heard of.
ये फटीचर जोक मारे जा रहा है और वो हंसते जा रहे हैं. तो
My husband has major trust issues. To him, I doubt even this snowstorm is a good enough excuse for me to stay out all night.
That's the price of marrying into wealth. You'll get used to it. I'm not about to stop you if you want to leave, but don't drag me along. Hello? Can I help you?
Okay, तो तेरे से भी ज़्यादा spend कर नहीं, 8 है ना, तो हाँ तो भाई.
How are you feeling, Tonya?
I'm fine. Sorry to worry you. I'm used to it by this point. I take medicine for it. My brother usually helps to get it ready for me.
भाई 8 के लिए अलग से आउटफिट रहना चाहिए यार. 8 के लिए अलग से आउटफिट रहना चाहिए. क्या मजा आएगा, क्या मस्त दिखेगा वो.
Child must take great care of his sister. He's never mentioned Tonya's illness, though.
You know, I actually find this whole thing kind of exciting. Stuck in a strange place thanks to a snowstorm. Having to spend the night with a bunch of interesting characters. Exactly. It's like one of those stories where an ordinary school trip turns into a magical adventure. I've always wanted something like that to happen in real life. I'm fine, really. Just got a little overexcited.
Look after yourself. Otherwise, your brother will come after me.
This is highly irregular. A delay of over an hour during an operation like this theoretically warrants a Harbinger-level response. I wonder what the issue is. The storm, or something else.
Sarge, the day you learn to let go and just enjoy moments like this is the day you'll finally understand the meaning of life. Ah, why, hello, sir. I believe you were the one sitting at a nearby table back at Podvorye Restaurant. Any friend of the theater's star performers is a friend of mine. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Mitya from the Energy Commission.
Greetings. Major Valeri, head of the Special Assignments Battalion. Armory Palace Royal Grenadier Guards, 1st Regiment. I am here to ensure Mr. Mitya's personal safety. Please let me know if I can be of any assistance.
Mr. Traveler, I cannot help but notice that Miss Odette is stealing glances at me. Any idea what that could be about?
तू नहीं, तू इतना इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं है. सॉरी, तू इतना इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं है मेरे भाई. हाँ, तेरे पे डोरे नहीं डाल रही वो. इसको कैसे समझाओ अभी? डोरे अपने पे डाल रही है वो.
I've racked my brains, but I can't think of anything I might have done to offend her. Perhaps she noticed me spacing out during her performance.
हाँ भाई, मेरे को ये मैसेज ने मेरा दिल ये कर लिया है. स्किप ही डाल दिया डायरेक्ट.
So, Mr. Mitya, is your work related to Project Stuja?
Yes, that's right. The higher-ups in the Fatui transferred me from the Energy Commission to the Armory Palace because they wanted me to... Really? I can't even talk about that? Pretty sure it counts as part of my private life. All right, I won't say anything. Sorry, traveler. As you can see, I'm afraid this pleasant chat will have to end here.
Skip it डाल दिया रहता है. अरे भाई लोग, हेलो. किक पे जाना है लेकिन साइलेंट नहीं होना है. मैसेजेस ब्लेजर भाई और राज भाई पे आ तो गए लेकिन साइलेंट ही होलिए.
I don't think it's ever been this lively backstage before. I didn't know you were coming today. Hey, have you seen Chuganov? I heard he was coming today. Have you spoken to him at all?
I'm with you. This could be just the chance we need.
Yeah, I gotta figure out a way to coax some more intel out of him.
Oh, okay.
I wanna know why he suddenly changed his stance on Project Stuja. What exactly happened before the most recent Vetcha vote?
For the Rokad, or just out of personal interest?
तो शिवम भाई का एडवाइस है कि बस्टर्स पे ही फोकस करना है. ये मेरी आइडिया लगा ले. A3 करके छोड़ दे. मैंने यंग एरिम को A3 करके छोड़ दिया. वैसे तू देख, डायना को A3 कर, सारा लुई ही पे लगा दे.
There are other people around. Don't say the R word.
Odata.
I have to say, even though today was a rehearsal and there were some hiccups along the way, Miss Odette's performance was one of the best.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. Especially considering the weight of the subject matter. It takes a truly seasoned professional to do justice to a theme like love and regret. Do you think we were coming on too strong? Odette's ignoring us again.
What about you? What did you think of today's performance? Huh. That's actually a more insightful critique than I was expecting. My mother would agree. She's always thought that was my biggest flaw. I'll make sure to save a ticket for you when the show's
This doesn't seem like the time or place to bring up the subject of...
So unfair. Talk about double standards.
And now it looks like I've been spotted. You know Mitya too?
No, I don't. I just have a feeling that he might be dangerous.
Okay, शिवम भाई ने एक मस्त अच्छा छोटू सा कैमियो दिया है. थैंक यू शिवम भाई.
How's it looking, Alosha?
No change from this afternoon. Heavy snow with no
शिवम
sign
भाई
of
एक
slowing
पॉसिबल
down.
किक पे भी.
May I have your attention, please? The storm is unlikely to stop tonight, and it'll be even more dangerous outside at night than it was during the day. We at the theater owe everyone here a duty of care. Therefore, we strongly suggest that you stay on site overnight and avoid going out in a few short moments. We'll give you a tour of the theater's various quarters. You can choose to sleep in the VIP room, the office,
I'll pass on sleeping on the stage. What if the snow is stopped by tomorrow morning? The early birds in the audience might think we're part of some experimental new show.
A drama about sleeping? That could be fun. Maybe we could come up with a title for the production.
Again, मेरे को नहीं फर्क पड़ता है. बहुत सब्जेक्टिव है रे ये. एंटरटेनमेंट इज वेरी वेरी सब्जेक्टिव. लोगों को लगता है कि यूनिवर्सल थिंग है. अगर एक किसी को पसंद आ रहा है तो दूसरे को भी आना चाहिए, और एक नहीं आ रहा तो। लेकिन भाई मेरे को लगता है कि सबसे सब्जेक्टिव इज पर्सनल एंटरटेनमेंट.
Not bad. Clear selling point at least. Could be a big hit.
Anyone who doesn't wish to sleep on the stage, please follow me. I'll show you to the rooms.
I guess I'll call it a night. Though I feel like I'm sure she'll be worried that I haven't made it back yet. But as long as I wonder if she's feeling any better yet. At least she hasn't been getting...
Ah, finally. Welcome back to the world of the living, lazy bones. I was about to wake you. The black mist is almost on us.
Huh?
Still waking up, huh? You know, the black mist. It's been chasing us from below ever since we were born. You're just dozy. There's no way you've forgotten. Come on, let's keep heading up. Onwards and upwards is the only way to survive. Don't listen to a word those black mist cultists say.
Here we go again. The endless march towards survival.
What's going on? That black mist down there is creeping me out. And it's rising. Guess I should head upwards and get away from it.
Okay. वो बाप रनिश भाई का वो तो है.
By the black mist leads to everlasting peace. But if you ask me, they're just lying to themselves. We're the only heretics left. The only ones who refuse to give in. We have to keep going.
But how do you actually know that they're wrong?
Dangerous question there, Torgov. The moment your faith wavers, you start a chain reaction that ends in the collapse of your will. Put the question out of your mind. Stay strong and believe that the black mist means certain death.
तो परनीश भाई उसके बाद फिर इस पे भी तो नहीं आए.
I can't do this anymore. I've had enough of being forever on the run.
Oh.
What's the point of it all?
All this will pass eventually, I promise. Keep fighting. It will be worth it.
You accuse the Black Mist cultists of being liars. But you're lying too. There is no end to this path. It keeps going up forever. There was never any hope to begin with.
The cult of the Black Mist has poisoned your mind, Sobolova. Are you thinking of giving up as well?
I am. I think I'll take my chances with the Black Mist over this perpetual torture.
As much as I detest the Black Mist cultists, I'm just too weary.
Then I bid you both farewell. Let me put my personal opinions aside for a moment and say, fate always appears so impossibly complicated. But at moments like this, its raw simplicity is laid bare. Their fate was sealed from the instant they entertained doubt. From then on, the outcome...
मेरे को इस पे डाउट आ रहा है. मेरे को फेट गई तेल लगाने. फेट से हमें टेंशन नहीं है. मेरे को इस पे heavy doubt आ रहा है.
are gone. I never thought the day would come when even they would be swallowed by the black mist. It's just you and me now. Yes, it looks like it's satisfied. For now. This happens from time to time. But it won't be long before the black mist starts chasing survivors once again. Well, we should make the most of the precious moments of rest that those two bought for us. Huh? Are you really that sleepy, traveler?
हे देवा, इसने मेरे को भी कंफ्यूज किया रे.
What is it, Chuganov? What's wrong?
Is it morning already? Sounds like it's coming from next door.
मेरे चूहे काय खूब चिल्लाए रे.
Don't look, Miss Tonya. Stay here. Okay.
What happened to them?
भागा तो रहा हूँ. और मरी को रे एक्चुअल में.
These two people have passed away. And the strange thing is that somehow, have I seen this moment before? Or did I have...
Let me take a look.
मेरा guard captain.
No vital signs in either of them. The cause of death, however, remains unclear. No wounds on the bodies. no.
But just last night, they were chatting and joking away. This is so sudden.
Could they have had pre-existing medical conditions? Even then,
It's hard to believe that they died of natural causes, nor does this appear to be a suicide.
संडे को दोपहर को हम लोग सोलो लेवलिंग का करेंगे, रात को हम लोग किंग्स रोड का खेलेंगे.
Who was the first to discover the bodies?
It was me. But these deaths have nothing to do with me, officer. I got up early because I wanted to see if the snow had stopped. Then I noticed that the door to this room was open, and it looked like there was a man and woman inside. I just went over.
I can corroborate this. I was doing my morning exercises near the stage. I can also confirm that I didn't see a single person approach that room before him.
The snowstorm was raging all night, and it's still going now. There's no way...
You mean an intruder? No, not possible. I slept by the door last night as a precaution. There's no way I wouldn't have noticed if anyone had tried to open it.
Everyone,
Balls of
split into
steel.
pairs and search the theater for anyone in hiding or any signs of suspicious activity. I'll follow up with a full search of my own shortly. Go. There is no time to waste.
Nothing on your end either? Backstage is clear. No signs of suspicious activity.
We checked the basement. Also clear. I don't think there's anywhere here that a living person could hide.
Are we certain that the theater doesn't have a back door? Or any tunnel or passageway wide enough for a person to fit through?
No, there's nothing like that. If people were sneaking in through some secret tunnel to avoid buying a ticket, we'd have sealed it off ages ago. I also checked the windows. All of them are locked from the inside, and there's no sign of anyone entering or leaving.
It sounds like we can safely rule out the intruder theory. If anyone came in during the night in this weather, there'd be no way for them to avoid leaving footprints or water stains.
इसी मेरे को ठंडा कर रहा है next level. Anyway, सूर्यांश being सूर्यांश. गेम मैं कौन सा भी खेलूं, उसको टेंशन सोलो लेवलिंग की ही लगी रहती है. Which I appreciate. इतना डेडिकेशन सोलो लेवलिंग वाले पहले इसको सपोर्ट करो.
This can only mean one thing. It's like one of those murder mysteries you see in novels and plays, isn't it? The ones where the killer is one of us.
We can't quite jump to that conclusion just yet.
Could he be right? It's hard to imagine something like that happening in real life. Set in a theater during a snowstorm. A murder takes place, and the killer is among us.
Looking at who the killer targeted and the clean entry, it all adds up. I know it did.
What is? What have you figured?
Both victims were wealthy, well-known local merchants. And the door was deliberately left open so I would discover the body. Such ruthless methods. This was your doing, wasn't it? Lelik.
Lelik?
You mean Lelik is among us? And he's the killer?
Lelik. I know this code name. Member of the Rokot, anti-Project Snezhnaya. Always works alone. I've read the case files at the Armory
this is getting interesting.
Walk me through your reasoning, Mr. Chuganov. What do you know about Lelik?
He is Lelik. इसको भी कुछ तो हुआ.
What now, huh? What now, Lelik? What more do you want from me? I already voted against Project Snezhnaya at the Snezhnograd Vecha. You snuck into my house the other day while I was asleep. Left a threatening letter. And I did all that you asked. But Project Snezhnaya cannot be so easily shaken. Not with the rooster in charge.
So he really was threatened by Lelik. That makes sense.
And now you're resorting to murder to threaten me. Isn't that right? I knew it. The Rokot despises the rich. The lives of the wealthy are but refuse in your eyes. Show yourself! Which one of you is Lelik, Tell me! I'll do whatever you want! Just stop playing these mind games!
ये तो पागल हो गया ना next level पे.
Was this really Lelik's doing? Would Odette really do something like this? If Odette really is Lelik, this seems out of character. I'm probably the only one here with a compelling theory about Lelik's true... What should I do?
I don't think it's likely that Lelik, at least from the stories I've heard, he's never killed anyone before. And besides, Even if Lelik did want to threaten you, why resort to such a...
Vodyanitsa doesn't know that Lelik might be Odette, but her assessment is pretty much identical to mine.
Miss Vodyanitsa, why do you suddenly feel the need to speak in Lelik's defense?
Defense? Oh, no, it's just... I'm worried that we're jumping to conclusions here, so I wanted to share my point of view. Also, I don't think the Rokot...
Well, if you think I'm so wrong, what's your theory then, Why don't you tell us who the killer is?
The case is still evolving, Mr. Chuganov. Please do not prevent others from expressing their opinions so early on in the discussion.
Even so, there's no denying that the recent threat received by Mr. Chuganov may well be an important clue.
So there's still a good chance that Lelik is right here among us. I can't do this anymore. I don't care if it's still snowing outside. I have to get out of here.
हाँ इसने जाने दिया तेरे को हाँ जाके दिखा तू.
Whoa, take a beat. We all know it's far too dangerous out there. Even the soldiers couldn't get to us. Go out that door, and you might not live to tell the tale. And whoever this Lelik is, they're surely not going to murder anyone in broad daylight. Be sensible, my man. You're safer inside.
As much as I regret having to say this, I'd like everyone to cooperate and refrain from exiting the premises until further notice.
कल हमने स्नाइपर और वो जो गेम आते हैं ना जिसमें मोबाइल में ऐसा टैप टू एम एंड शूट वो सिमुलेटर खेला. आज हम लोग अमंग अस खेल रहे.
Because as things stand, every one of us is now a suspect. Unless anyone has further information to share, let's adjourn for now. Feel free to keep searching for clues, but make sure you don't go off alone.
अरे वो था ना वो जो अभी प्रे कर रहा था थोड़ी देर पहले कि हे भगवान ये सोचता हूँ ऐसे ही रहने दो मेरे को फिर इन दोनों के साथ मतलब एक ही छत के नीचे में रात स्पेंड कर पाएगा. गलत काम करते हैं लेकिन समझ ले वो और उसके साथ जो पीछे वो ऐसी करके खड़ी थी वो कितने जल्दी पूछा रहे इसने.
You're right. That was my bad. It was a knee-jerk reaction. I didn't think it through. Luckily, no one suspected my identity.
किसको पता?
Oh, phew. It's just you. I thought someone was eavesdropping.
Since Vodyanitsa and I were on the same page earlier, I think I should...
मर गई ये मैटर करते हैं फिलहाल तो.
Whoa. Are you serious? I don't know if this counts as gossip, but it's definitely on track to be the juiciest this whole year. Odette? Really? Odette? Oh god, how dumb does this make me look? Lelik has been right under my nose this whole time, and I didn't notice a thing.
Actually, it's exactly what you'd expect. Sometimes, hiding in plain sight is the best strategy.
And now that you mention it, the more I think about it, the more sense it seems to make. What are we up to now? 1, 2, 3... Odette's identities. She's my coworker, specifically a ballerina, and also a Fatui, a member of the Rokot. Now, Lelik. It must be so exhausting. I just want to give her a hug. I guess since I've always known her as a member of the Fatui, it never even crossed my mind that she could be involved with the Rokot, let alone be Lelik.
Perfect identity है.
I don't understand. If she's with the Fatui, what reason could she have for being so opposed to Project Snezhnaya?
अरे उसकी मर्जी.
Probably best if you ask her that in person.
Well, since you waited until now to bring this up instead of announcing it to everyone earlier, does that mean we're all on the same page here? Yeah. Lelik may not follow orders from the Rokot leadership, but as far as I'm concerned, she's never crossed the line. If anything, her actions benefit the poor. We need to confront her face to face.
Do you think she'd really admit to being Lelik?
I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. For now, we'll work on the assumption that she didn't kill anyone, and see how much she is willing to tell us. Now's her chance. Odette's alone. Let's go.
चेंज करना पड़ेगा ना मेरे को.
What is it, you guys?
Next level ठंडा मार रही है.
Keep your voice down. We need to talk. So, you're Lelek, aren't you? All right, fine. You don't have to say anything or explain yourself. Just hear me out first. None of us believes you'd kill innocent people. Whoever murdered those two people last night, it wasn't you. The Traveler was the first to figure out your identity, but he kept quiet during the discussion just now. Still, it's clear where the group consensus is heading. Everyone believes Lelek is the culprit. If your identity is exposed, you'll be in a really bad spot. We're your colleagues, and we know what kind of person you are. I don't want anything bad to happen to you.
मेरा गेम इंट्यूशन बोल रहा है ये गंदी गाली देने वाली है इनको. ये ललित नहीं है.
So, can you clue us in? Tell us everything. The more we know, the more easily we'll be able to cover for you.
All right. Yes, I'm Lelek. And no, I'm not the murderer.
Damn it.
And thanks, but I don't need you to cover for me. Actually, I'm planning to reveal my identity.
मैं इतना गलत हुआ? That is mad.
You're gonna reveal that you're Lelek? Here?
That's right. I'll admit I was surprised at first when Chuganov guessed that I was here. It was just a lucky guess, but it caught me off guard. But after taking some time to assess the situation and confirm where everyone stands, I don't believe I have anything to worry about.
Are you sure you don't need a second opinion? Given the circumstances. Mr. Valeri! What?! So, Odette is Lelek?
I don't know what game you're playing, but you've got a lot of nerve.
It's just one identity. So what if it's exposed? I can disappear and adopt a new identity anytime I please.
Okay.
I made my peace with this when I chose to become Lelek. But more importantly, I promise I am not the murderer. Which means, if anyone still insists that I did this, you'd best produce the evidence now. Otherwise, I suggest that you bite your tongue. Because if you really believe I killed two people without making a sound or leaving a trace, pointing fingers at me would surely only make you my next target.
Is this really the truth, Miss Odette? That's confidence, all right. I believe you.
Chalo, likes and subscribe.
A real no-nonsense attitude. I can see why Marionette said that she's on track to inherit the title of the Fair Lady.
Are you seriously buying this? Hey, officer! She just admitted to being Lelek. Aren't you going to do something about this?
Crime kya hai uske?
I do have one question, Miss Odette. Why have you chosen this moment to come forward and reveal...
If I didn't say anything, everyone would be focusing all their efforts on finding Lelek. And that is exactly what the real culprit wants. I don't want to be the scapegoat who lets the murderer get away with this crime.
Despite all the accusations, she made the smart choice. A remarkable display of rational thinking under pressure. Clearly, Odette's talent extends far beyond the art of dance.
She thought so far ahead. Why do I always feel like I'm one step behind her in everything?
Choti bachchi hai tu, choti bachchi. You've convinced me. Dealing with the murder case remains the top priority right now. Nevertheless, the group still considers you the prime suspect.
I understand. You're welcome to keep an eye on me around the...
Mr. Chuganov?
For my wife and daughter's sake, I'll let you off the hook for now. But don't think you're forgiven for breaking into my house and threatening me. Just wait till we get out of here, Lelek.
अभी इन्वेस्टिगेशन मोड में चलो ऐसे ही चलाते चलो मेरे को इन्वेस्टिगेशन मोड नहीं खेलना है.
Good work, Lilac Guard team. And Lilac too. Here.
Turns out Valeri knew about my exploits. So now I've been told I have to guard Lelik with him.
Shouldn't you be facing my way if you're guarding me? At the moment, it looks more like you're my bodyguards.
If the true culprit is indeed still at large, as you have claimed, we must keep our guard up against them also.
Don't worry, Tonya. We'll get through this. Once the snow stops, the officials will step in. The investigation will get easier, and then we'll be safe.
But once the snow stops, won't everyone just leave?
ना अजीबात ना.
You're gonna miss us, huh? Well, some of us work at the theaters, so we'll still be here. I'll even give you a special backstage pass.
Really, Miss Vodyanitsa? That's awesome! You've made a fan for life.
Aw, you're so cute, Tonya. All right, let's swear to it. I promise to give you the pass, and you promise to never change your mind about being my fan.
Promise.
मेरी छोटी बच्ची को ब्लैकमेल करते हो. नहीं.
Tonya, you don't have to swear an oath over things like that.
जब तक इन्वेस्टिगेशन मोड में नहीं डाल रहे मेरे को तब तक मेरे को ये इंटरेस्ट मेरे को ये सस्पेंस बनाए रखना है.
You really do get carried away sometimes, don't you, Miss Vodyanitsa?
Hey, mind your own business.
Don't be nervous, Miss Water Imp. Everyone's here. There's nothing to be afraid of.
What? ये कैसा nickname है?
Excuse me? Do I look nervous? Don't be ridiculous.
No. You sound nervous, lass.
Oh. Wait, but how... Okay, plenty of people know that I'm a water imp, but still... How come you understand our primary mode of expression?
Primary mode of expression? I've not come across that concept before. Do enlighten me, Vodyanitsa.
हे तो बीच में फोन छोड़ के वॉशरूम गया था क्या? फिर आइजन ही राज है आइजन है. ऐसा क्यों कर रहा है?
Well, it's just... We water imps tend to communicate our emotions to each other by singing, rather than facial expressions. The emotions we convey through song take precedence over our facial expressions. So, we think of it as our primary mode of expression.
I'm impressed, Shram. I didn't take you for a man of culture, but you're clearly rather learned.
It's not about being cultured or not. The thing is, this mode of expression can usually only be understood by other water imps. It's not a simple case of a song sounding happy or sad. And yet, you're clearly human, Mr. Shram.
It's really not the big deal you're making it out to be. I think I just have a knack for it. Plus, I have a... very close friend who's a water imp. A delightful lady. But keep that a secret. Anyway, we spent so much time together that before I knew it, I noticed I could understand her expressions.
Oh, I guess that makes sense. Still, the fact that you have a water imp friend is even more surprising. I'd better watch what I'm singing when I'm around you from now.
Hey, what are you implying? You're not...
Heavens, why would I do a thing like that?
It's getting late. We should discuss our sleeping arrangements for tonight.
I suggest that we don't sleep in separate quarters tonight. It will be safer if we all stay together.
As long as someone keeps an eye on Lelik.
Are you saying that you wish to bet your life on Miss Odette being the killer?
Nonsense.
Then I propose the following arrangement for tonight. The Traveler, Odette, and I will form the Night Watch. We'll sleep in shifts, but...
An excellent idea. This allows us to handle the Night Watch while also keeping an eye on Lelik. Meanwhile, the rule of taking shifts in pairs resolves the other issue. Namely that we can't necessarily trust the Traveler or Valeri either. I expect that plan took you quite some time to come up with, didn't it?
Actually, our field combat manual outlines a similar approach. Although the scenario there involves guarding prisoners overnight during field operations.
अच्छा ये काम कर रहा है फिर.
That being said, I must clarify that I harbor no disrespect towards you personally, Miss Odette. In fact, Lelik's numerous covert operations make fine textbook examples for military agents.
I care less about respect and more about the fact that you just robbed me of 2/3 of my sleep tonight. I'm calling dibs on being the first to rest. Good night.
तो अपना मीठा भाई कांड कर रहा है.
It's almost time. We should wake Odette. Oh, not going to argue with that. I'll take a quick...
It's finally time for Odette and I to share the night watch. I should wake her up. I came here to get information from her in the first place. Maybe...
How long are you gonna keep staring at me? Couldn't sleep. My mind's been... Plus, there's something I've been meaning to talk to you. I had a hunch that you wanted a conversation. I just had a simple question for you, really. It's... Rosaline. In her final moments, did she have any... I see. Well, no. She was utterly ruthless in pursuing her goals. That kind of person should be hard to miss.
हम लोग क्राइम मिस्ट्री सॉल्व कर रहे हैं. 2 बंदे मर चुके हैं. प्राइम सस्पेक्ट इस पे डाला गया है क्योंकि इसको रॉबिन हुड बनने का शौक है. लोगों को जाके धमकी देने का, जो प्रोजेक्ट शूशा चालू है उसके अगेंस्ट वोट करने का. सिपियर रॉबिन हुड के अलावा लेलेक नाम लेती है. एक बंदे को इसने रिसेंटली धमकाया था, वो इधर आज अभी इस वक्त प्रेजेंट है. उसको लगता है इसी ने उन दोनों को टपकाया है, तो इसलिए हम इसको गार्ड कर रहे हैं और दूसरों पे भी ध्यान रख रहे हैं कि एक और कोई मर ना हो.
And yet, even though I never approved of her methods, and she was an abrasive person, the fact remains that I am indebted to her. Oh, she told you. I guess that makes sense. I think she and Rosaline were on pretty good terms.
और कौन सा गर्ल्स? मिठाई भाले वाले ने तो वो बोला था डार्क मिस्कर्स्ट. मिठाई भाई अपना
Yes. Rosaline wasn't the kind to gossip about this sort of thing. Not that it's any huge secret to me, though. When I was a child, I had to join the Fatui for the sake of my mother and me. I trained under Rosaline. It was extremely grueling, and it didn't exactly come naturally to me. All I could do was try to ignore the biting cold and practice. I was a newcomer who'd managed to make a good first impression on a Harbinger. There was pressure to live up to her expectations, to be worthy of the fair lady's reputation. Every day was a struggle against the cold, pain, and fatigue. And after enduring all that, I've become almost immune to the sensation of pain. I suppose that was the cost of survival.
अच्छा, ley lines. Okay, I'm getting interested. थोड़ा टाइम के लिए रुक ले आइजन.
Surely, any child who had to experience that would grow to hate her lot in life, don't you think? So, I put an equal amount of effort into my ballet. Because it was my way of telling her, the Fatui's demands and your expectations of me are not. I think she probably blamed my poor performance in training on my passion for ballet. One time, when I was secretly practicing a dance at night, she suddenly showed up. I told her, "You don't deserve to watch the dance I learned from my mother."
Okay, ये बहुत serious हो रहा है अभी.
She looked stunned. I guess she was surprised that I lashed out first, but strangely enough, On that occasion, she wasn't fierce with me like she was after that. She never interfered with my dancing or asked me how it was going. She never came to watch me. She was. But even now, whenever I take out this core Ignis, I can't help but think of that night. Of the look on her sort of. Although gift might be too kind a term. This is her flame sealed within ice. A symbol of her favor, yes, but also her way of keeping an eye on people.
भाई साहब, ले लाइन से कौन रिलेटेड है? ले लाइन से अपना कौन रिलेटेड है? भिंडी अबिश.
She knew the location of every piece of core Ignis. If any recipient started acting suspiciously, she'd be on to them immediately. Trust her to make even a mark of approval feel suffocating. So, when news of Rosaline's death reached Snezhnaya, many people immediately crushed their core Ignis. But I kept mine. With my sensitivity to pain being as dull as it is, the warmth from this core Ignis is one of the few things I still wonder. Did she really come to stop me that night? I wasn't sure, but I was scared. So I said some really awful things.
Captain!
I guess she didn't leave anything behind. Not that I expected her to.
Capitano.
It's fine. It's just a bit of a shame that we couldn't settle our differences before the end. She did. Are you sure she was talking about this event? No, she didn't. I didn't even find out that she'd gone to Mondstadt and... Wait. In that case... Okay. I will. Thanks for letting me know.
थोड़ा रुक ले समझ जाएगा. मैं डिटेल में समझ जाएगा. अभी मैं कंफ्यूज हो रहा है. मैं सूर्यांश बन रहा है अभी थोड़ा.
There's something I'm trying to figure out. I'm beginning to suspect that Paimon's mystery illness is being Paimon's very important to me. So I have to get to the bottom of this.
The ultimate goal of this energy experiment is to create a weapon for the final battle. The weapon's construction was completed in Nodcry. Now, all that remains is to arm it with a sufficiently powerful energy. Yes, the weapon's development and all the related experiments are overseen by Lord Pierro the Jester, and the lab is located deep within the Armory Palace.
So we are breaking in there?
I'm not sure why this experiment would be making Paimon feel unwell, though. The best way to get to the bottom of it would be to go there in person. Once we get out of here, I'll help you apply for an entry permit. And I'm hardly the organization's proudest member, as you know. You answered my question about Rosaline. I want to do you a favor in return. It's that simple.
अरे something happen होना ही पड़ेगा.
What's wrong?
You two seem to be hitting it off.
I thought you were sleeping.
Of course I was. In the military, one learns to fall asleep quickly, even in the most inhospitable environments. It's vital to staying alert and energized.
Even if he was awake, he can't have overheard us.
Well, thank you both for keeping watch. Traveler, I'll take over for now.
Sure.
Okay, अभी अपना मिठाई वाला भाई कुछ तो करेगा वापस.
This is our second night here, but I hope she's been sleeping well the past couple. Why do I? Seriously? Is this paper? Never mind.
Hey, मिठाई भाई right on cue.
Hey, what are you spacing out for? Are you reaching?
How long have we been walking for? Do you remember?
Time's lost all meaning. Ever since...
star key? Or key star? Anyway, the person who named it was swallowed by the black mist.
Huh?
Whatever it's called, ever since we noticed it, we've been walking up and up. But it seems like no matter how far we...
Well, we've come this far. You never know.
इन पे हेल्थ बार क्यों है लेकिन? Okay, enemies.
Monsters! Watch out! Not again! I've lost count of how many times we run into them. Be careful.
Hey, reaction trigger करो, come on, हाँ, thank you. All reactions. अच्छा, इसकी स्किल कावे जैसी है. फॉरवर्ड ये टैब मारता है आइस का. अरे जब हम लोग सो रहे हैं ना तो ऐसा फील हो रहा है हम लोग थोड़ा ऐसा माइंड रेलम में किडनैपिंग टाइप हो रही है. ओए तेरी इसकी रही रे. ओए हमारा माइंड जो है, हमारा सोल वो अल्टरनेट रेलम में जाके ट्रैप हो रहा है. मर तेरी ऐसी की वैसी. भाई अब ये हॉरर मोड में चला गया.
The black mist behind us. It feels like there's no escape.
Shut up. Run faster.
इतना डैमेज दे रहा है कि ये कौन है? ये क्या है?
Here comes another one.
इतने इजीली नहीं मारने दूंगा रे. Heal. Sorry, Villery?
No, I'm fine.
I get you. In fact,
Yeah. The hope that the star gives us is the only thing keeping us going. Otherwise, why would it always be out of reach?
We know you mean well, but you're only saying...
Thank you, friend. But enough is enough. You're going to continue, aren't you? I admire that.
It's not an illusion. We really are getting closer to the star.
Congratulations. You are the first person to make it here.
Okay, something is wrong. ये audit नहीं है.
I'm the star's envoy. The black mist has stopped rising. Its hunger is satisfied for now. Having devoured your two companions, this is a good opportunity. I'll let you get some rest before we continue. What do you mean, leave? The star represents the starting point. It's the waypoint for the beginning. Congratulations on reaching the starting point. Once you are ready, we will head out and walk upwards. I will be right... Huh? What's wrong?
Is that...
And सबसे main मत.
Please wake up.
हमारे पास मेमोरी क्यों नहीं है? क्या हो रहा है?
The situation is identical to that of the 2 casualties yesterday. We cannot ascertain the...
At least there are some elements that we can rule out this time. They slept on the stage with everyone else. So I suppose the surrounding...
Rampana. Coolish.
Weren't some of us keeping watch last night? 3 of us, in fact. How could you not notice something was wrong?
I'm as confused as you are. Certainly nothing unusual happened on my watch.
Likewise. And from what I've observed so far, both Miss Odette and the trap...
To be honest, I didn't get a wink of sleep last night. I couldn't help but think I was the target. So I just laid there with my... I heard the Traveler and Lelik chatting, but otherwise I don't recall hearing any commotion during the night.
Me too. I didn't want to wake everyone up, so I was concentrating hard, trying not to cough.
तो सब लोग जागे ही थे.
I hardly slept at all.
एक मिनट.
If anything had happened, I'm sure I would have noticed.
तो मतलब जो एक्चुअल में सोए वही मरे हैं.
Then what could possibly be causing this? Once was bad enough. I can't believe it happened again. I worked closely with Rampana and Coolish for so long.
Vodianitsa.
4 victims in just 2 days. I need to get to the bottom of this as soon as possible. And above all...
Still snowing?
Yes, I just checked. Still no sign of anyone outside.
So we only have ourselves to rely on.
If you ask me, this killer can clearly strike whenever they please. The Night Watch was a useless endeavor from the start. Lelik must be an expert in poisoning. Clearly she used some poison that can't be detected on the corpse.
इसको मारना इसका चमटे दो. Each day is scary और ये each day सी होता जा रहा है और.
Here we go again.
ये तो तालियों मार दिया मेरे मिठाई भाई ने.
Listen, I was already thinking to myself last night. Was Lelik's reason for revealing her identity the real story? She's been playing us for fools. You get off on this, don't you? Revealing your identity? Only to...
That's a hideous thought. One that only a hideous mind like yours could dream up.
4 दिन इधर ही ऐसा यही करना है. ये जो.
That's enough. Yesterday, you named Lelik as a suspect because the victims were both wealthy merchants, but today's victims were just ordinary people. Not to mention that they were colleagues of Odette and mine.
Who knows? Maybe you don't know her as well as you think. I implore you all to ask yourselves, how many people are there really in this world that have what it takes to kill another person? Not many, Lelik is well known to be a ruthless operator. And now she has...
Everything you've said so far is still just conjecture, which doesn't constitute a concrete lead.
How can you defend her, officer? What did she say to you while you were on Night Watch? Maybe I shouldn't be so surprised. You military, all so you can get your grubby paws on our hard-earned fortunes. Then tell us to fall in line. The Fatui, the Druzhna, and the Rokot. Thugs, the lot of you.
Mar, please.
Don't you dare.
Sir, but you were the one who told us not to stop other people from expressing their opinions yesterday. 4 people have already died. Only yesterday, turning against one another is the last thing we should be doing right.
Little girl.
Even if Mr. Chuganov is a puffed-up, pig-headed windbag who doesn't have a clue what he's talking about, he's still one of the victims here, isn't he?
I had no intention of resorting to violence. But you're right, Miss Tonya. I ought not prevent him from speaking his mind. In any case, I believe Mr. Chuganov has calmed down a little now. We may resume our discussion.
Must. Child की बहन पसंद आई मेरे को.
I don't think there's any need for that. What is there to discuss? Nothing about this situation is normal.
Did you have an idea, Mitya? You're the brainiac here, right?
I've been mulling something over. All the leads we have so far concern things from outside the theater. Miss Odette's alter ego, the threats Mr. Chuganov received, but then there's the 2 double murder crime scenes themselves, which have given us absolutely nothing to go on whatsoever. That's highly unusual. Even with the most careful killers, there's always...
So what are you suggesting?
I think this could be a supernatural event. It isn't characteristic of human-on-human homicide at all.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't you supposed to be a scientist?
I got into scientific research because of my insatiable curiosity. But if the present situation defies all known scientific explanations...
Now that you mention it, I remember when I first came to... Haunted?
Yeah, I think I heard the same thing. But I mean, they're only rumors, right? We've worked here for years.
Well, this has taken an unexpected turn. A haunted theater?
Why don't we take this opportunity to look for clues again with a more open mind? Maybe a different perspective will help us see something different.
मेरे को चूगा और ये उसका बाजू वाला मरेगा लग रहा है.
Very well. Whether it's criminals or ghosts we're looking for, the same rules apply. Everyone needs to...
एक तो ये 4 तो जिंदा बचने चाहिए. तो 4 ही. हाँ, ये आलियोशा. आलियोशा किधर है रे? आलियोशा दिखाई नहीं मेरे को.
Valeri, come take a look at this.
Some sort of notebook.
It's the on-duty logbook for the theater. Kulish was the main person to use it. He mostly used it to record any unusual incidents during a show, audience numbers, exit time. Yes, he'd always have this logbook with him when he checked tickets.
This should confirm a lot of key details about the recent show.
Yes. The number of people. I've checked. Apparently, we have an extra person among us.
Are we certain that logbook is accurate? Could someone have sneaked in without buying a ticket or something?
Unlikely. Kulish took his duties very seriously. I've not to mention that this was a dress rehearsal, meaning smaller audience numbers and tighter ticket restrictions.
We no longer have our tickets with us, do we? They got collected on entry.
Unfortunately not. The theater recycles tickets. Once people are in the door, they don't tend to leave until the show ends. So Still, I'm inclined to believe that this discrepancy in the...
Did an extra person just materialize out of thin air?
उसने अगर अपने आप को कभी दिखाया ही नहीं तो इनर क्या है? अच्छा नीचे है क्या? Alosa, mere Alosa.
Ah, traveler. Since you're here...
Alosha found it. We're both curious to hear your perspective. It appears to be a... well, an investigation.
हाँ, ये नहीं पढ़ना होता. ये सीधा skip करना होता.
An investigation report, huh? Looks quite old.
The theater manager must have hired an investigator once, specifically to look into this issue.
Presumably, the manager wanted to know if the supposed haunting was dangerous, while also being fearful of word getting out in case it affected the theater's business.
वो चूगा और वो water rim दोस्त वाला.
Anyway, the bottom line is, the haunting is actually real after all. It's caused by an obstruction in the ley lines. Is there any chance this is the key to finally making some
Ley line problems are pretty unexceptional to me by this point. And while it certainly offers an explanation, it's hard to imagine what connection it could have to these 2 murder cases.
Some of the language that appears at the very end of the report caught my eye. Angel civilization, ley line renovation?
Angel civilization, Nicole, Leyline civilization, Natlan.
My area of research doesn't touch on any of that, so it's complete... huh? A piece of paper just fell out from the report. It landed right by your feet.
Pierro?
How unnerving. It was tucked inside the report, so it must be a note left by the author. Death is near. Is that supposed to be what's going on here? With us in the theater? But if so, how did the author foresee it? Could he predict the future somehow?
Maybe things are more complicated than we thought.
No, wait a second. If we take the report and the note at face value, the report definitively concludes that the hauntings in the theater are harmless and cannot affect the real world. The question is, what exactly does the note mean by death? The various ways we could interpret this keyword leading
Okay. और किसको क्या मिला? अरे इन्वेस्टिगेशन मोड में जाएगा, मेरे को ऐसा फील आ रहा है. अरे हाँ, ये तो क्लेम ही नहीं किया. अच्छा 4. ये बाद में क्लेम करना है, सोने से पहले क्लेम करना है. मेरी छोटी.
Tonya, did you find?
Not yet. Still looking. So, are we supposed to be looking for something paranormal? I think I'd prefer teaming up with you than looking around on my own.
भाई मेरी फट के 4 हो चुकी है अब तक. मैं एक तो मेरे को ये नहीं समझ में आ रहा क्या हो रहा है. उस पे से आइजन भाई ने नेक्स्ट लेवल पे कंफ्यूज कर रखा है मेरे को.
This looks
मजा आ रहा है
like
मेरे को.
somebody's notebook. Shall we read it together?
Well, it doesn't look scary or anything, so I guess it should be fine. All right, let's read it together.
D. Cut.
Huh. This has to...
Maybe it's a little rude for us to peek at this. I feel like I just read someone's secret diary by accident. It sounds like she's writing this for her parents, right?
Because her water imp parents belong to the aristocracy, who were driven out of Snezhnaya by the Tsaritsa long ago. And now they live somewhere new, where the postman...
We're sorry!
It's fine. My fault for not storing it properly. I can't leave things lying around and Alright, give me my notebook back. I'll take over the investigation in this room.
बच्ची रुला दी हमने.
If we take all this together, it's not impossible, is it?
Oh, I beg to differ. This sounds to me like a product of a researcher's vivid imagination. And perhaps it's because I'm still viewing this through the lens of...
Does it really sound that far-fetched? Alright, well, let's treat that as speculation for now.
Good. Okay, now that we finally have some meaningful leads, I think it's time to reconvene. Let's get the others.
अरे by the way, sir, अभी मेरा दिमाग ऐसा खुला रे. Happy Independence Day. 15 August.
So, that's about everything we've discovered so far. I'll share my theory first. Based on what we've learned from the logbook, I believe the extra person among us is most likely the killer. If the killer had simply bought a ticket, it would have greatly increased the risk of their identity being exposed. I expect he or she either hid in the theater ahead of time, or found a way to slip past the ticket inspection. They then blended in with the group and waited for an opportunity to strike.
What about the no-condom investigation report? Any thoughts on how that fits in?
The killer may have simply planted it there as some sort of sick joke. I've seen my fair share of psychopathic killers. They love playing cryptic mind games.
So, it has nothing to do with the haunting of the theater after all.
This theory makes sense to me. If we have an audience member unaccounted for, chances are they didn't come here to watch the show.
Could it really be that simple?
So, in other words, all we have to do is find out who got in here without a ticket And all our problem... Then let me make one thing clear. All the theater staff should be well aware that I came here for the rehearsal legitimately, yes?
It's true. I hear you used every trick in the book to get a hold of that ticket, too. Everything short of throwing a temper tantrum and rolling around on the floor at the entrance.
I most certainly did not degrade myself in such a way.
Probably a stupid question, but I might as well ask. Did anyone here get in without having their ticket checked? Guess it was naive of me to expect them to just admit to it.
Especially after the unprompted Lelik reveal. Once was already a miracle. Twice would be unfathomable.
इसका अपने पास है, अपन चाइल्ड केस पे आए हैं, ये तो इधर ही काम करता है, ये इधर काम करते हैं, ये तो भीख मंगा है, इसके पास तो यही बचा फिर.
I don't believe any of us here knew Shram before all this. If no one can verify Shram's identity... Mr. Shram, did you really go through the ticket inspection to get in?
Huh? Me? Why am I being singled out, my friend? Do I seem that suspicious?
It's not that you stand out as suspicious. More that everyone else has been ruled out as trustworthy.
Okay. Well, we spent the best part of 2 days together now, so I'm sure you can all tell what kind of person I am. I'm a true gentleman. I never dream of doing something like sneaking to the theater without a ticket.
Yeah, I have no doubt that you're a good person. But the problem is, none of us here actually know you, so no one can say for sure that you are... Although, actually, what was it you said last night? Yeah, your friend. Last time I checked, there were barely any of us remaining in Snezhnaya, since most of the water imps left. Could you tell me and I suppose it's also kind of a way for everyone else to get to know you a little better?
Good grief. Are you blushing? Pull yourself together, man. Stop giggling like a teenage boy. It's revolting.
Hey, revolting is a little strong. All right, fine. I'll admit it. That water imp friend of mine, the truth is, we're dating. I was just the bodyguard hired by our family. But the stars must have aligned, because sparks began to fly between me and their daughter.
We don't need details. Just get to the point.
Okay. I'm just a little hesitant to reveal her name, that's all. You know how it is. These are delicate times, even with me to protect her. If word gets out that she's dating a human, both the Fae and human factions will give her a hard time.
Okay.
Really? Wait, no. That can't be.
Huh? Shram, what the devil are you talking about?
Why is everyone looking at me like that? Surely you can understand where I'm coming from.
Delicate times? Factions?
Yes. You know, the Civil War. Last time I checked, the Fae and the humans were still at each other's throats.
भाई मेरा पास से आया है.
The last significant civil war in Snezhnayan history was over 400 years ago, when Her Majesty the Tsaritsa had just taken the throne and was consolidating her reign.
What do you mean, 400 years ago?
What's going on here?
All right, Mr. Mitya, you win this round. As far-fetched as it is, it appears that your theory may be correct.
बुढ़ाऊ से भी next level बुढ़ा बंदा है ना हमारे बीच.
I'm just as amazed as you are. I didn't even believe it myself, to be honest.
Is someone going to explain what's going on here?
From the look on your face, you figured it out too, haven't you, Traveler?
The theater's ley lines have been modified to block souls within its grounds from returning to them. Mr. Shram's statement proves he is from hundreds of years ago. And according to the investigation report on the theater hauntings, Mr. Shram is very likely a lost soul wandering the theater. For some unknown reason, the soul that has been wandering the theater due to the ley line issues has joined our group and blended in. Yeah, that must be the immediate reason why the ticket count doesn't match the number of people present. The contents of the investigation report have been verified. There are indeed ley line issues and wandering souls in the theater. Death likely symbolizes the deceased. Mr. Shram, for instance, death is near. That must mean that there's a dead person in our midst. That's the truth, isn't it?
Yeah, the logic is clear now. The investigation report said that there would be souls stuck wandering around the theater because the ley lines were cut off. Mr. Shram must be one such soul who died in the theater a long time ago. In which case, that also makes him our extra person. So when the note said death is near, it must have been referring to death as in the deceased, people who died a long time ago.
Someone who died a long time ago.
In short, there's a dead person among us. The extra person we've been searching for is a ghost from the past.
You mean I'm a ghost? No. Don't make jokes like that, my man. There must be some mistake. But even if I was dead, I know for a fact I didn't kill anyone these past 2 nights.
तेरे पे किसी ने डाउट भी नहीं लिया मेरा भाई.
Yeah, even if all that's true, the report also said the souls inside the theater can't...
Then what if the problem isn't the souls at all, but the ley lines themselves? The ley lines have a powerful ability to attract and devour souls. Let's say that the ley lines are like a black hole, constantly seeking to engulf souls. But the souls that don't want to return are trying to avoid being sucked in.
Huh. Why does this analogy sound so familiar?
Black mist.
What happens when the black hole can't achieve its goal? I'm only speculating here, but what if it ended up swallowing innocent souls by mistake? Or intentionally taking other souls to compensate?
That could explain why we weren't able to determine a cause of death. If you're right, and their souls were devoured by the ley lines, it does make some sense.
ये तो अभी से भी खतरनाक तो ये ले लाइंस निकले. हे देवा.
It does seem to explain a lot of the things we couldn't make sense of. Does that mean it's true?
Except there's no concrete evidence. Mitya is relying on a lot of logical leaps. Still, it seems like the best explanation we have under the circumstances.
All right, so how could Shram not know that he's dead? Seems a little unlikely that he hasn't noticed anything unusual even after several days interacting with us.
On the contrary, it's perfectly normal for a soul to wander the theater for centuries without questioning their existence or reason for being there. It's simply what's natural for them.
You know what, Mr. Brainiac? I think you might actually be right after all. I'm trying to remember and... even though my head feels like it's... I was the one who didn't want to remember my own death. So I forced myself to forget.
Well, I'm sure...
My lady and I snuck out to go on a date one day. We bought tickets for the theater. It wasn't... All of a sudden, a group of people burst into the theater, shouting for all the water imps to get out. Performers and audience members included. It was clear the conflict between humans and Fae had reached a boiling point. This time, the extremists were even coming out. I thought I could pull one over on them. So I took off my jacket, draped it over my lady, and tried to sneak out amid the chaos. But I got caught. They started shouting, calling me a traitor to humanity. But I was going to do whatever it took to buy our chance to escape. No matter how many people stood in my way. I had to. Both as their bodyguard. And out of love.
Hi, Mera Romeo.
It's all right, friend. You can stop there if you want. You don't need to dig all that up again.
It's just... Even now, If I'd known I was a dead man walking, I wouldn't have dragged you down with me. If I'm the cause of all the...
But... Mr. Shroom...
तू मर चुका है पहले.
No. I refuse to be a burden. I know what I have to do. I guess it's high time I got a breath of fresh air. Out there, I mean.
Mr. Shram, I'm sure we can figure out a different course of action.
My good sir, we both know I'm not supposed to be here. I should have accepted my death long ago. One way or another, this has to end.
No, I'm speaking on a personal level this time.
Let it go, man. Oh, wait. One last thing. Miss Wateramp. My lover. Her name was Litia. Litia Ozarova. Do you know what happened to her?
Ozarova. Oh, Auntie Ozarova. That's what we all called her. I remember her as a very kind elder. She had a bunch of kids, too.
Aww.
I'm so glad she survived. As long as she went on to be happy, that's all that matters. Besides, I'm dead. There's no need to see me off, my friends. I've enjoyed our time together over these past few days. Perhaps we'll meet again in the next life.
Bhai is the bravest man alive, walking towards his own death.
Take care, my man.
I knew Mr. Shram was already dead, but I still feel so sad.
Death is cruel, no matter how we might try to make sense of it.
So, was the conflict between Fae and humans really that bad back then? I was only little, so I don't remember much. Even the historical records about that time period don't say much about it. All people know is that the Tsaritsa founded the Fatui, drove out most of the Fae aristocracy without explanation, then used her terrifying power to suppress the humans.
It seems to me like the Tsaritsa chose to make herself the enemy. She downplayed the conflict, directing whatever animosity both sides had for each other at herself instead. That's also why, despite how brutal the conflict was at the time, there hasn't been much lingering tension between humans and Fae since. Things have been fairly harmonious for the past few centuries.
So, the Tsaritsa banished the Fae to protect the Fae living in the city? She offered herself up to be hated in exchange for peace.
Maybe it's not quite as bad as it sounds. I don't think Her Majesty is too concerned if mortals hate her or not. And besides, there are very few who truly do.
Hey, मैं confused हो रहा है ये ग्रे कैरेक्टर भी नहीं बोल सकते इसको, एंटी हीरो भी नहीं बोल सकते तारिसा को, ये इसका अलग ही कलर बना रही है अपना.
All this time, I had no idea.
All right. If Mitia's theory is correct, then I think we can
Ugh, if only this blasted storm.
Looks like now we can just rest until the snowstorm stops. I still can't believe Shram turned out to be a ghost who'd been in the theater for hundreds of years. To think he was dead this whole—
Knock, knock.
Huh?
Knock, knock.
You know the door isn't closed, right?
Think of it as a signal then. When I'm entering someone else's room and I knock, I'm here as Odette. If I don't knock, it's Lelek.
ये क्या घटिया लॉजिक है? ये क्या घटिया लॉजिक दिया इसने?
Thanks.
So, why did you come to find me? Is there something
Vodyanitsa said you knew about my secret, but when everyone was discussing who Lelek could be, you were worried that revealing what you knew would be unfair to me. So you— Yes.
It's nothing. I mean, you didn't hold what happened with Signora against me, so—
Actually, there's something else as well. I found myself in a— so I thought I'd come and ask you for advice. It's about Mitya. Before all of this, the last time I saw him, he was dead.
हैं? मीठा भाई अपना मर चुका है?
As I'm sure you know, my goal as Lelik was to stop Project Stuja. Well, when I found out the tech lead for the experiment behind Project Stuja was Mitya, I immediately started. I often saw him around the theater, but I soon concluded that making my move, so I decided to infiltrate the Armory Palace and go directly to his lab. That way, the threat would be much more effective. Well, I suppose there was a bit of luck involved. But when I finally made it to his lab, Mitya seemed... I checked his breathing and his pulse. I thought maybe another anti-Project Stuja activist had beaten me to it. And...
That's why you were so on guard around Mitya that first night here.
Yes. When I saw him sitting in the audience during the performance, I could barely contain... To me, it was a miracle. Somehow, he'd come back from the dead. But then, the murders started happening, and that is, until Mitya himself said there must be a dead person.
And yet, you thought that bringing it up right away would single Mitya out.
Exactly. I thought there... Besides, we soon figured out that Mr. Shram was a ghost. And we knew there was only one...
But now, it seems like there's another candidate. I understand why you kept it to yourself. There was so much information being thrown around during that
So, what do you think we should do?
Let me confirm one thing first.
Around a week ago. Sometime in the afternoon.
A week ago? That's earlier than I thought. I saw him just a few days ago at a restaurant. That definitely would have been after you found him dead. He seemed completely normal to me. Chatting with Vodyanitsa, trying to avoid Valeri.
So he was definitely alive on that day. Huh.
Here's a thought. The reason we even suspected a dead person could be among us was because of the problem with... But Mitya's death happened inside the Armory Palace. The ley lines of...
You're right. I guess he doesn't fit the...
I think the chances of it being him are very low. Surely he can't have died for real in the Armory Palace.
Unless what?
Unless he really did come back from the dead.
Oh.
You're right. Do you think we need to disclose this to the others?
Huh, what's this? A private meet and greet?
Undead!
Where do I line up?
That's not what's...
Well, I was just making the rounds. Thought I'd try to lighten the mood a bit.
चलो. Sorry. लेकिन आज के लिए इतना ही क्योंकि कल उठना है. कल इंडिपेंडेंस डे है. उठना है कल. हाँ. 8 बजे उठना है कल. उठना है, जल्दी उठना है कल. और तुम सब लोग उठने वाले हो नहीं कि सोने ही वाले हो? एक तो ये सोसाइटी अच्छी वाली सोसाइटी में हम लोग शिफ्ट हुए हो. बेचारा वो जो है हमारा क्या बोलते हैं उसको, सेक्रेटरी, वो स्पेशली आके नाम लेके क्या बोलता है कि तुम लोग नीचे आओ ना आओ, हम लोग सबको नाश्ता प्रोवाइड करते हैं इंडिपेंडेंस डे को. जे मैंने उसके नीचे गया, पापा मेरे को धर लेंगे गंदा वाला. हाँ. हेलो, मेरे से पहले तो ये कोई तो बूस्टर डालो. अच्छा, इसको बाद में मारना है. गुड नाइट भाई. हे तू पहले डिस्कॉर्ड पे आ. डिस्कॉर्ड बोल रहा, सॉरी. तू इस पे आ पहले. कि पैसे फॉलो करके छोड़ दे, यूट्यूब से ही चैट कर, मेरे को चलेगा. एक तो मेरे को इधर इमोट्स में इंडियन फ्लैग नहीं मिल रहा, क्यों पता नहीं. गुड नाइट. हैप्पी इंडिपेंडेंस. जब माइल स्पेलिंग ही गलत डाल दी मैंने एआई के चक्कर में. डे. हाँ, सबको हैप्पी इंडिपेंडेंस डे इधर भी डालेगा. मैं कॉपी मार के डालेगा. रुक. ठीक वालों को भी, यूट्यूब वालों पे भी, सबको हैप्पी इंडिपेंडेंस डे एंड सबको एक शुभ रात्रि. गुड नाइट.